be too upset with us.
No, I don't think anybody expects much from us here.
I'm pretty sure that's live on the internet now.
I don't care. It's just funny. It's like
Oh,
I think they know that we're enjoying ourselves here, and that's what that's about.
happy Friday, Barbara.
Yeah, like, where's my chat thingy? There we go. Yay,
It's on the side. I have to
yay.
rearrange my screen now so I can see you while I'm doing this.
I wish I can move myself over to the other corner. Do you know how to do that?
Um, oh, hang on. Let me mute myself. Okay, I am
Look at
now
us try to
muted.
be all technical. We can do this.
I
We can do it.
know. Ooh, we got Pennsylvania today.
Oh, fun.
AB's on.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I know. I see you all the time. We
Oh,
are we are tired.
that's our baseline though. Like that's what you get
I'm
for having
extra
a show at
tired today.
9:30.
I'm extra tired today. That's the problem.
That's all right.
What?
We're
I'm trying. So we were talking about goals, and one of my goals this year is to like be in decent enough shape so that when I go on this quilting cruise, I've got the energy to be with you folks who are with me all day for the classes.
which you should all be
And
going to.
you should absolutely. There's still spaces. We have 19 spaces left for people. And for sewers. So technically like 38 if you are all bringing significant others who don't want to sew. But it's in July. I suppose I should be a good YouTuber and pop a link in there. But I want to be able to do that. It's 18 hours of classes plus like,
Mhm.
dinners with you guys every night. We've got a couple of exclusive excursions. It's gonna be really fun. But my children are coming and my husband is coming, and we know that children and husbands require a lot. And so I want to be able to
And
like
husbands.
I want to be able to enjoy it and like be fully present for you guys and be fully present for them. And I know that that means getting myself in probably a smaller, more healthier version of myself so that I have some more energy to do it. So I lifted weights for the first time today in like 15 years. I used to do it all the time. It was very small. I was like Chantel size when I was doing this at a
You
regular basis. And yeah, I can feel it very much in one section of my derriere only.
mhm.
It's the weirdest thing. But
Yep.
Chantel has heard me talck about my butt
She's
a
like, oh,
lot.
my butt,
Yeah,
it
my
hurts.
it's not feeling very good right now.
And I'm like,
It'll
it's gonna
hopefully
hurt
be
for
a
days.
good pain tomorrow. But I've been following all these fitness influencers that are
Some of
like
them are
not
hilarious and not
they're not
appropriate.
safe for work, so we're not going to share any of them today. But that's what I've been doing to get myself motivated to do more than walk, which is what I've been doing for the first month of January. So we'll see.
More than
We'll see how
me.
it goes. Let's see. Joan was at a quilt retreat last weekend.
Nice.
Snowy and icy in Washington. Hopefully we get rest this. Of
We
course, I
never
never
get
get
rest. We
rest
have
on a
kids.
weekend. I have
Rest is for
laundry and
Mondays.
kids, and yeah, no, I that's my in-office day. I need to change
So,
that.
yeah,
I
you
need to
do.
make that Tuesday.
Yeah.
I really do. That's not. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
you
why I
didn't
did that.
see good decisions get made on this show. That's all.
See, here's the reason why is my husband's off on Mondays, so that means he can do kid pickup, which means I can get in a bunch of hours on Monday
Oh,
because
I
I
get it.
because they don't have to stop at 2:30 to then go be
Yeah.
mom.
Hi,
That's
Suzanne.
basically it. Lifting weights. Yes. I mean, I did like 5 exercises. It's not like I'm gonna go be, you know,
A
whatever
fitness
title it
influencer
was
now.
that. Oh yeah. Hell no.
Don't
My
worry, this is still a
waistline needs to be
sewing based
significantly
show.
smaller than my hips and my bust line if that's ever gonna happen. That's gonna be
Maybe.
a minute.
Maybe.
It has
Oh,
been
we
in the
got.
past.
Oh yeah, no, I'm impressed that you've taken the initiative and you're
I
doing it.
did.
I mean,
I
that's
did.
huge. And
So
I mean,
my old
I have no goals of getting into a gym.
It's basically because my older daughter starts school at 7 a.m. on Friday. She's got like a club. And then starting next week, she has like this math class that restarts
Oh.
2 days a week in addition to that. So like that's gonna be my time where like
Hmm.
I have to be up and I have to drop her off anyway. So as long as I'm out of the warmth of my bed,
Right. It's
I
easy to do it
should
because
just
you already have
go.
the
Yeah,
initiation ritual
that's my thought.
started.
And then I don't come home and hear the 5-year-old get really upset because I took one child to school and not her. So I don't have to start my day off with toddler whining, which is always a
That's
good thing.
critical,
Yes. So this is my
especially since
goal.
Lily's so good at it.
Oh my gosh. I get enough in the afternoon. Enough. Today I thought it was just because she was like hangry after school, so I showed up to pick her up and like still in the parking lot while we were waiting for her sister to come out, handed her a snack. And that was not the solution. And I was like, dang it, I thought I'd
I
solved the
mean, I
problem.
thought you nailed it. Whatever.
I
I would
thought
be
I did.
happy.
I thought I had come up with this amazing solution, and I was not correct on that. But
I don't know, try it
she
a few more
she
times,
found
but
other things to get upset about.
it's the
But
hanger. It's a little bit of everything,
I
right?
know, right? The Silver Hill, Alabama on the Gulf Coast, 80 degrees today.
Wow.
That's fabulous.
I know.
Excuse me as I
That sounds
drink
lovely.
my Spindrift.
I'm
That would be lovely.
a,
It's like in the 30s here.
it, at least it
It's
was sunny
chilly.
today for
It
us.
was.
You know, if it's cold, it better be sunny so that at least I can pretend it's warm outside.
I know. At least it looks better.
Right. The days that are all like sad and gloomy, I'm sad and gloomy
I
because
know.
I'm
It's not
solar
fun.
powered.
You need like vitamin D,
I need something. I don't know what it is that I need. Probably
like a
exercise.
lamp. They have, I mean, yeah, that might help some. But let's see.
We got all our
Lydia wants to
regulars
start
here
walking
today.
again. I know everybody's here. It's a party. All right. So what is everybody working on? We want to start off with that as I wipe this
Before we
the
get completely
drippy
off
snot.
topic,
I know we have planned off topic today though, so we'll
we
see how that goes.
we're trying new things. So
We are.
it's it's funny because you've all gotten to know us, and so we feel like, you know, staying on topic is just baseline hard for us, and so we're gonna kind of lean in.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy when we talk about other things anyways, I think. But you can still
There
ask as
was
many sewing questions as you would like. That is
we got
always welcome. We are here to help.
I feel like last week we got the most comments when I started talking about how I shaved my mustache. And because I'm Italian, there's some hair there. Uh,
Yeah, the 13-year-old boy, like,
I know,
I
right?
turned 40 and I'm pretty sure that I've actually turned into a 13-year-old boy.
But
Becky's got hexies.
oh yes.
Her
Hexy
Friday
hexy.
hexies.
I'm working on my Tula Nova again.
I've got a big quilt, but I'm on the sashing part, and I hate sashing.
I know you don't love it. It's not your favorite.
It's so far from my favorite that I have stopped entire quilts from being finished just because they require sashing.
I am aware. I can name at least two, I think.
Like, yeah, at
Uh,
least. Orders for
let's
Hunter
see.
Stars. Half square triangles. Whew, oh my gosh, 2.5 inch. That's annoying.
That is small.
Why do they do that to us?
You
And we
know,
do
I've
it.
definitely probably done that to somebody before with
I have
my
a pattern
patterns.
I was gonna start working on, and it's 2 inch half square triangles.
50,
I got
but
waxed
what
the other
was your
day.
wax for $50? Because it really depends on the body part.
Share if you feel the need.
Like if it's where the sun doesn't shine, that's cheap. Um, Not that I do that often.
Oh
That
man,
was
I
one
feel
of
like
those
that's a
things.
do it once and that's good enough.
When I was a newlywed and I thought that such things mattered, I would do that kind of regularly. And then I went on vacation and I thought I just don't want to have to deal with this for a week. And I went back, and this was like 2 years ago. And I was like, how in the heck did I manage to do that? And like I've had two babies since. It's like my pain tolerance has only gotten better. But I was just like, I'm never doing this
You're like,
again.
yeah.
It's
I
like, oh man.
I've done it for myself.
Yeah,
And that that was a terrible experience.
I bet it was.
There's two sides. So you don't stop at one, you know. Oh, facial, she said.
If it's the whole face, maybe
Like
like
brows and such too. And
brow, upper lip, and like maybe like your whole like face area, then yeah, I would see that being like 50. But I feel like
I
that's
don't
probably a
know.
little high if you're just
I
getting
don't
like
grow a
one spot
mustache.
done.
I'm not a
I used to
mustacher.
do brow and upper lip faithfully every 4 weeks. And then I got laser, which didn't obviously get rid of all of it because I'm still shave my face occasionally, but it helped a lot. And so now I just do the brows and my arms because I'm subconscious about that for tutorials because I am a hairy Italian lady and
And it's
I don't
only
like,
becoming more apparent that, yeah,
yeah.
as you age, right?
Well,
But
actually,
she can
after
cook.
having done it,
So, you know,
it's a good trade-off. Some hair for some cooking skills. But
absolutely. Especially when you're the
uh
friend and neither matters.
yes, I know. Brow, stash, chin. I feel like that's probably reasonable then. If you got 3 areas done, it was 50. I think that's probably sounds about right.
Still, not money that you want to spend, but like, oh
Yeah,
man.
like every week. No.
Nope.
Let's see. What else do we have going on? Joan is trying to finish her tulip butterfly quilt next week. That is pretty
Ooh,
good.
I have it
And
one. That one's not easy.
that's a big one.
It's a big one.
Let's see. What else do we have?
A
Plated
lot of
block
pieces.
king size for friend's birthday gift. This must be a very good friend if you're making them a king size quilt.
Jeez.
And a bag for a granddaughter's education major.
Oh,
Fun
cute.
fabric from Spoonflower. That's good. That'll be a good thing for her to carry all her stuff back and forth to class in, probably. That was one of the first things I made my sister when she became a teacher was a bag to carry it back and forth all
Made bags for
her
teachers.
things. Yeah.
Teachers' gifts before.
I'm trying to finish my final like outer star
Hmm.
thing. I don't know
Oh
what to
yeah.
call it. For Tulanova. I
It's
have
like a
not cut
pentastar.
anything. Yeah, whatever it is.
I made up that word,
Um,
but it seems
you
appropriate.
definitely did, but I'm gonna go with it.
The pentastar. Well, you understand what I mean. Like it's the
I do know
large
what you mean.
pentagon, like
Yes.
with the pokey things.
I have not been down here at all this week, just because it's been one of those weeks. So I have nothing else prepped. So I don't know what I'm gonna do if I finish this. Probably just gab with you guys is what I'll do.
Grab
I
your
was
crochet
supposed to
project.
film, well, that would require walking upstairs. I do have dishcloth yarn and a hook that will work for it if I get so desperate. So we'll see.
There's
It
been
was just one of
times that
those
I've
weeks.
gotten nothing done during this. Like I really have to plan hard to make sure that I have something to sew, that
Yeah.
I'm in the sewing process, not the cutting process when this starts.
Yes. We know that cutting on the lives
We
doesn't
don't
work
cut
out
on
very
live.
well. No, I've messed up too many things. Takes too much brain power.
It does. Way too much.
But so I was supposed to film today, and then I would have had a top to put together, but some stuff came up for, the work that is paying the bills these days. So I was like,
Right.
well, I guess I have to do that first. But
Yeah, what they would consider actual
I know.
employment.
Now my boss
Bummer.
wanted to, there's like these woman achievement award things. And
Hmm.
she emailed me like super late Wednesday
Hmm.
about it. And then I didn't see it yesterday because I was working on other stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, can we take care of this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I look at deadlines today. And I'm like,
Oh
"Oh,
no.
okay. I have to write you an entire bio and statement of achievement for all your things that you've done." and
And
get
it's
it all
not me.
submitted.
It's not easy when it's not you.
And I have 2.5 hours left in my work week before I go over hours. So challenge accepted. And
Challenge accepted.
I made it
I
work.
will take this side quest.
I made it work. But
That's funny.
let's see. Donna's finishing up her cotton cuts clue number 7. Then who knows what she's gonna do after that. It's fun.
Donna always finds something to do.
Donna has a never-ending list of projects, I feel like.
I
Although
feel like,
so do
yeah,
I. I just don't get to as many of them as I wish I could.
I have a number of projects that should be on the list, and then I have the actual list, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like I have
I know
kits
what
and
that
things
means.
like that that should be on the actual to-do list, or half-made quilts that need sashing. I'm only finishing this one because it's for a quilt test and I have to have pictures this weekend. But that's
Well,
why I'm
good for
doing
you
sashing
for
right now.
meeting a deadline.
I'm good at meeting a deadline. I'm not good at meeting my own deadlines, just deadlines people give me.
Well, that's something.
That's because I make excuses for myself if it's my deadline. It's like it was a
Easier to
pretend
move your own
deadline,
deadline.
anyways.
Yeah, definitely easier to move your own deadline for sure.
So we should pull up some of the things that we were sharing,
Yes. So Chantel and I, we share, we
images
talk
and videos all week.
usually we'll have a good conversation on Saturday night before this, which we call our work conversation, but it ends up also being a
Friday.
catch up conversation. Yes, Friday. It is Friday, isn't it? Oh my goodness.
We know
Um,
this. We've done this,
you
what,
do.
40 sometimes? 30,
Almost 40.
39?
I think we're 40 next week. Um, which when is are you at QuiltCon next week or the week after?
Week after.
You
Yeah.
can tell how in tune I am with the things in the quilting world right now. Um, but throughout the week, we mostly communicate via memes and reels and funny things that we find that we think the other will also enjoy online. So this is the best of the best. And we thought it would maybe generate some conversation on here. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. The first one is actually quilting related. So
And then we totally get off topic from
that,
there.
yeah, then we're not on topic anymore after that. So have fun with us as we go through here. All right, so let me share my screen. You're about to see all of you guys here for a second. All right, so I sent Chantel this one. Um, because I actually been thinking about getting an air tag because I make air tag bracelets. That way she can have a little bit more freedom, but I will absolutely know where she is every second of the day.
Hmm.
Um, so which is hilarious to me because I remember being in junior high and I had two best friends in town. And we knew because we rode our bikes everywhere that we were all 2 miles apart from each other, like crossing really busy roads to get to one another. And that's all we did is all summer we would just go ride to everybody's houses, but somebody was on their own for at least the first 2 miles, like to get there.
Yeah, and like you
And
weren't always going where you needed to go either. Like you'd get
yeah,
together and then you'd go down by the creek or whatever it was.
oh, it wasn't just the creek. So I lived on Lake Michigan near where there was a power plant, and it had been closed down by this point, but they still stored the active cores there, like the waste.
Hmm.
So we would ride our bikes um across this railroad track to this abandoned road to the lake where there's not a other soul in sight, and we would swim in it where there's all these asbestos warnings. And like my mother, I never knew a thing about this, and I was telling her about it as like a year or two ago. Or no, she was telling me about how she would do this, and I was like, "Well, Mom, I think I was on the same road." And then we were like, "We would never let our kids do this today, never ever." And like, I will maybe let my child venture around the neighborhood only with an air
The
tag, so I
neighborhood.
know where
Yeah.
she's at. Like I
And
don't
then
know if the
told
world
to
has
clip them
changed.
into the shoes and things like that because
Or,
it's a
or
bit safer.
that makes
Um,
sense.
my kids
Shoes
have them
are,
for their backpacks and things like that
yeah,
too.
that makes sense.
But
All right.
play the video and then
Yeah, so this is how people are suggesting it for quilting, but it's actually a little bit controversial right now. So we're gonna talk about that. All right, so It's about reducing the stress of shipping a quilt. They basically just taped an air tag in this and then dropped it in. And I actually have had a quilt stolen one time when I shipped it. I shipped the quilt top to Natalia Bonner um, to be quilted, and this was like right before quilt market. And I had made it like in a weekend, and it just disappeared. Like it had been stolen right off her porch. Like we had confirmation of delivery. The driver went out and even confirmed that he hit the right house. And somebody stole it right off her porch before she could grab it. And so then I had to contact the fabric company and I got the fabric. I remade it in one day and I overnighted it to her. She shipped it back to me in like one day. And we had it in time for quilt market, but my gosh, was that stressful.
Oh my God.
That
I
was
didn't know
very
you'd
stressful.
actually had a quilt
This
stolen.
was so long ago, but yeah, it was wild.
That, okay, yeah. And
And it was
that's why,
definitely before air tags and stuff.
so air tags this year have been banned from being used on quilts at QuiltCon. So if you sent in a quilt, you were not allowed to package an air tag in your package because they considered it a breach of privacy for the people who were like picking up the quilts. Um, because some of them would end up taking the quilts to their home, and there's some privacy issues with that
That
prior
makes
to
some
them,
sense.
prior to them actually going. But um, I don't know if he's received his package yet, or whatever, but I think it was on Instagram, the quilty architect, his quilt that he sent in that was supposed to be displayed at QuiltCon is missing.
Of course.
And this is a policy that they enacted this year. Um, and it definitely had some people up in arms because it's become a way to like, protect, yeah,
Protect your
protect,
quilt.
yeah.
And it's not
Um,
even so much about the value of it. It's just if you're going to send a quilt in like that, the amount of emotional investment you have in that piece is huge. And some of them are quite valuable.
some of them are quite valuable and the amount of time, and I mean, these are art pieces, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It is not, these are one of a kind heirloom items, and like really truly heirloom items. So I would be absolutely broken if I actually got something into that show and the item went. Yeah.
Missing.
Yeah, Peach and Honey, who's my friend Emily. I'm doing her quilt. Literally doing it right now. I'm working on her quilt right now. Um, yeah, it is scary. Like to have something happen like that. And so, what do you do? What is it? Privacy for the potential people that are picking this up? Like, why can't they have a central area that these things go to? Do you know how that works on the behind the scenes?
So a little bit.
Okay.
They don't have, I don't know exactly how the judging works, but I know that when it comes to access to the building,
Hmm.
there's very little that you can actually ship to a convention center. Um, And if you are shipping to a convention center, usually you are a booth and you are shipping a pallet and you are paying a lot of money because every time somebody touches it in the building,
Oh,
then it's a union member touching it. So very expensive because it's a very
yeah.
expensive cost every time it's handled. Because you cannot physically like move your pallet or anything like that. You have to
Mm-mm.
wait for
You have,
someone who is contracted by the facility to do it. And there just is not, at a convention center, they're not going to want to be responsible for all those quilts that are coming in. So they have to have a place to go that's not, the convention center.
right.
Just because you wouldn't be able to get them there and you wouldn't want to like logistically like leave it to the last minute
Sure.
either. That would be a nightmare.
But is there an in-between option that isn't like
I don't know.
somebody's house?
Does Modern Quilt Guild have a headquarters
That's a,
like within an actual office building?
I don't know. Does anybody know if I don't actually know.
'Cause that would,
I
I think, probably be the only way. And then they would probably have to take on the insurance and be liable for it for that time,
Ooh.
which would be a nightmare.
And I'm not sure what other shows are okay with either. Like, can you have air tags within the device? Like within, like a lot of people sew them into the actual like tag and things like that.
Yeah.
But the video that you showed, they just put it in like a package.
I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. I would like put it in somehow, like get
Like
it
you
in
would put it in the
plastic.
label.
Like this sounds terrible, but I will like put a quilt in a trash bag as a way to keep it from getting water on it. Obviously, it's not
Okay, well,
trash,
yes,
but that's where I would put it if I were going to put it in something.
in your trash bag
Yeah, so
with
that
your quilt
it's in the same physical thing that's
location.
keeping the quilt
Yeah.
together. That's what I would do
So I've actually
if it were
never
me.
sent a quilt out for a long arm or anything like that. I've always done my own. Um, and that's part of it. Like, what if you're like, what if it just disappears?
It can happen. It happened to me. I mean, it was only the top when I did it, thankfully. I hadn't like already paid for the long arming and then it went missing on the way back. And she got, excuse me, I have hiccups. I'm not clutter or however you say it. I just have the hiccups. Um, but
She's not even drinking.
I'm not. I'm no. I'm they're not on my
I
boost.
finished my Pepsi, so I'm moving on to the actual beverages now.
Ah,
I can say I tried.
hand delivery. That's probably your option. Well, you can't hand deliver, I don't think, a quilt
To
to a
now,
show like QuiltCon.
well, I don't
I
know.
don't think that that's an
Well, they
option.
need that. Yeah. Well, and there's an in-between time, like where they're there, they're judged. You have to have them in at a certain time. And then there's,
Yeah. I
I
have
don't
always, if I was going to have a quilt at Quilt Market, I flew that quilt down myself and I flew back with that quilt. I never had them shipped because there's just so much going on at a market. I was always concerned that there
at a
would be a
show though,
problem.
I feel like they have the resources to keep
Yeah.
everything organized. I mean, they won't even let you touch the
No.
quilts, you know? People are walking around in their white gloves. Like, would you like to see the back? And I'm like, I would
Yeah.
like hors d'oeuvres with this, please. Like, it's fancy.
Yeah.
I had a friend at QuiltCon that had a quilt that was like a 3D effect, and they wouldn't even let her have the 3D glasses next to her quilt.
Really?
Yeah, it works with the 3D glasses though. It was really cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
It was really cool. But yeah, I met her there and then I tracked her down and I'm like, I need those 3D glasses to see this. It was worth it. I really wish she could have had a little bucket there, but they're like, no, we can't have anything like interactive with quilts and all of this stuff.
Are you so excited to be going?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm knock on laminate and MDF. I am not going to be sick. Some of this has to be wood, right?
I mean, parts of wood, wood pulp.
It's wood particles.
Yes.
Hi, Rob. Rob's here too now.
Oh, good. Hello.
What are your
Yeah, that would
guys'
be,
opinions on that? I mean, the
yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, I totally get people not wanting to know where things are because, like, I opened a PO box when I switched to being at home because I don't want my home address going out on packages
well, I
because
mean,
there are
you
too many
got like a
crazy people
hundred.
in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
you got noticed at like people recognize you. It's
Yeah, I literally get recognized at my gym. Are you the quilting lady? Yes. Right after I weighed myself on the scale. Yeah, that's
yeah,
me.
yeah, all of that. That's me.
Yeah. It's a little more me than when you saw me in a video last. But
This camera takes off 10 pounds. Yeah.
I know, right? I wish.
I
The
wish.
contour, maybe. The contour can take off some face
Oh man,
stuff.
thank God for makeup these days,
I
right?
know.
Like,
But But yeah, it happens pretty regularly, and I don't really want anybody knowing where I live. Like, I mean, people could figure it out if they know enough about me.
I figured the same thing. My mom worked in the prison system, and
Yeah.
then it's like my last name is different, but like if they really wanted to like know my name and figure out who I was, like it's not a hard jog to figure out
No.
anything. Like we've
If
all
you
watched
really
enough
want to know,
crime
you can
docs
know.
that
Yeah.
we know what to do. There's nothing the Google can't bring us.
I mean, I know how to do my own background checks, but I also used to be a journalist, so I feel like I have that upper hand on
Yeah.
me.
You were a really
But
good friend to have in my
oh,
pocket.
I am, yeah.
She has like all the quilty skills and she knows how to like find any information you ever need.
I am pretty
I'm
good at
like,
that.
I provide really good color theory, awesome design, and no cooking, but that's fine.
It's all good.
It's all good.
You're
I
my,
have a lot
I
to
would
provide. I
not,
could roller skate.
I would not make it through without you, Chantel. It
Oh,
just wouldn't
oh,
happen. But
I'm here for the humor.
yes, well, that too. I
Who
can,
would you
I
send
can tell
memes to
you,
all week?
I mean, you're not the only person I send memes to, but I send a lot of them to you. I'm
It's okay.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
You're,
I just found out I'm cheated on, and you're like, "Eh."
you're maybe the only person I talk to about besides my husband, about how sore my derriere is after.
Well, that and the rest of the internet.
Yes, the whole internet, that's true.
The whole internet
But
knows that your ass hurts, but
I was
that's
trying to
fine.
theorize why it's only one side that hurts. And the best I can come up with is that I have scoliosis, and so my body is very far from symmetrical. And so I think one side just got strained more than the other is my best guess.
I don't
But
know. What's your guys' theory? No, I'm kidding. You don't have to answer
why does one side of Stephanie's butt hurt only? But I was feeling pretty good though. So I lost like 7 pounds right away. And then I didn't lose any more, but I kept it off for the rest of January. So I feel like that's a win. And I
Yeah.
was like looking at, I mean, I get all the commercials all the time for like GLP-1 stuff and,
Hmm.
semaglutide. And they're like, lose 7 pounds in the first month. I'm like, I did that on my own. Maybe I can actually do this. We'll see. But we'll see.
I'm typing in there that Debbie Does Quilts is the Instagram
The
of
3D quilt.
yeah, it
Let's
was really
see.
cool.
Becky B says she figures with all the apps people have on their phones telling them where the air tags are and their car thieves would find a way to dispose of. Oh, I don't know.
Who knows? Like, I mean, you
I don't
can
know.
stick an air tag on anything, but that's why it's like with the kids or whatever, you want to stick an air tag on them. You want to put it somewhere like in the bed of their shoe or something
Yeah.
like that. So,
Yeah, because I see like they make specifically bracelets for it, but I feel like anybody trying to do anything naughty wouldn't know to look for that.
yeah. What's our next meme? I feel like we've exhausted
Yeah,
this
I feel
topic.
we have exhausted this topic and it's going to a dark place, so I feel like we need
Yeah,
something different.
now we're talking about next.
Okay, let's let's pick this up. Okay, we're gonna share. We're gonna go to the next meme. Next meme. Oh,
Oh,
this you guys are gonna
this
get
is
to
all
see
about Stephanie.
how crazy I am when I've had a few too many. All right, so I sent this to Chantal and she immediately replies back, "This is you, isn't it?" So we'll just put this out there for you guys.
It is you.
So
You have to
basically,
understand that her garden expansion plans, she would seriously throw punch anybody that told her that it wasn't out of like that it was
so
completely out of range. And she has proof because she
I
has the
do.
manifesto.
So one night about a year ago, I had a little too much drink, and
It might have been after
I
one of these shows.
I think it was a Saturday actually because my husband was thinking that we were going to have
Oh, and then you
a
did that
night
and say, yes,
together,
that's right.
like because that's supposed to be like our date night. And all of a sudden, I am very focused on this sheet of paper, and for like 2 hours was sketching out my a 6 year plan of what I'm going to do in
I
my
got this
garden.
in the middle of the night.
6 year plan,
Yeah.
and I um yeah, he just looks at me and I'm so hyper focused on this and he's like,
He's
"So
just
this is what
like,
we're doing tonight, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, this is
oh,
this." So
this is
this
it.
is when I say manifesto, I mean manifesto. This looks like the work of a crazy person.
It
Um,
is.
it looks like I maybe need stronger medication than what I have. You can see my house here. This is the house, and then we have the front garden, the driveway, um, an addition that I would like to put on the house, and then all the garden beds, and then a very organized area of raised garden beds with trellises going in between them. And it's planned out down here which crops I want to plant in each one. And also, you notice these three circles here. That is for an apple orchard with three different types of apple trees that grow the three different types of apples that we use in our Cloet family apple pie recipe. Now, uh, I just want to read
It's
off
not
what is.
overboard at all.
Now, here's the thing. I am probably like many a gardener, where you get really excited at the beginning of the season. You start your seeds and you baby your seeds. And then you get them in the ground and you're still very excited. You've cleared everything out. Everything's starting to grow. It looks really pretty. And then by July, I have completely forgotten about it. I'm not watering a thing. There are weeds everywhere and it's just a mess. Where does the
You're like,
barbecue go?
whoops, my
I
garden.
do I do have a space for a fire pit right here. And I also would like to have a large wraparound deck where there would be some sort of something on top of that. But let's see, what did
To
I
be
plan for
fair, the
year
plan
one?
is sound and well balanced, if
It
you
is
know.
very well balanced. But yeah.
But this
So
is what
year
you did in the
one,
middle of the night,
yeah, year
and
one,
it's on the fridge.
it is still on my fridge because I still aspire to this. My husband wrote me a poem for my birthday and he was trying to figure out how to put the manifesto into it was a really silly poem, but it was that thought that counted. Um, he was trying to fit manifesto in it, but he couldn't think of anything to rhyme with manifesto.
It's like an M&M only like
I
rhyme.
know, right?
You know what I mean?
Let's
Like,
see. Last year I was supposed to split a bunch of grasses and move things around. And um
yeah, how
yeah,
much garden got done last year? Like, not.
nothing. Nothing.
Your
Oh, excuse
carrots
me.
were
I
Keisha Honey
de-weeded.
says seems normal. Oh, where is the barbecue? Where is your husband's future midlife crisis area?
Well, I would like to have, so right now our house is like it's a mid-century ranch. It's just a very, rectangle place. And we only have two bedrooms, which is becoming more and more problematic as our kids get older. So what we would like to do if we stay in this house, and this is part of the plan, so I think this is year four, yeah, of the plan.
Year
Um,
four of the plan.
yes,
So
year four of the
normal.
plan is to like basically take off the back half of our house. So that way our kitchen can get a little bit bigger so I can have a kitchen island and then add like an L onto it. So I can have an in-home library slash music room and
Oh,
then
and a place to put the
enter,
dolls.
well, it's probably a little too much sun, so I don't know about that, but
Oh,
we'll
fair.
see. And then enter into a bedroom from there, a master bedroom suite with an actual closet that can fit my clothing because right now that is not possible. And and then I want to have first floor laundry. So my whole plan with this is now that I'm working at a place that helps place seniors in senior living facilities, I'm learning that if I can have everything I need on one floor with no steps, the likelihood of me being able to stay in my home longer is significantly higher.
I
Because,
don't like this plan though, because we're taking over
yes,
the nursing home.
we are going to take over the nursing home at some point,
I mean,
but
your 6 year plan should get you to, 65, but like by the time we hit 70 something, we
that's
gotta,
fine.
yeah,
We can take it over then. But I can stay in my home longer if I do this. So then I can have like
that's fair.
laundry on the first floor. I can
I guess we
have
have
a
some
bigger
time.
bedroom. I can have all the things. So when we do that, I'd like to have a nice big deck that goes like from the L to where the bedrooms are now, and then my kids will have their own bedroom, which would be great. But I don't know. We have a long way to go. Like this is not even a possibility to even think about for at least like 2 years because of the way raises work with UPS. Like we have to wait until, my
It's
husband's at a
still
certain
like
bit.
completely normal for you. You like look at this like multi-year epic plan, and I'm like, did you sleep?
No, definitely not that
No,
night. So what
no,
am
I
I supposed to
didn't.
do in year two? Well, everything I didn't do in year one, probably I would need to do. And then in year two, oh my gosh, my husband would kill me. I'm supposed to completely redo the front landscaping, which would include cutting out a giant new flower bed that wraps all the way around from my driveway, all the way around the front of the house to the side. He would never let me do that. I'm
Year
not allowed
three,
to remove I'm not allowed to remove any more grass is basically the rule of the marriage. I think he'll divorce me if I remove any more
rule
grass.
of the marriage, no more grass
Yes.
removal. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm not allowed to do that. And then I also am supposed to either um paint or do lime wash on our brick front this year.
You gonna do that?
That one I think I can do. That's like a weekend project. Knowing me, it'll be like 3 weeks. But
Well, DIY is in DIY time. So you're like,
yeah,
oh, it took them a weekend. So DIY time is like three times.
yeah.
So it'll
I
take me
mean,
3 weekends.
because let's be honest, I'm gonna have to get my in-laws to bring out the power washer, and that'll be a weekend, and then I'll be able to do the front part of it, and
All right,
then
we're holding you to this now,
it'll expand, and I'll have to finish up my front door that I painted a quilt onto.
which is awesome. Do you have a picture of
It is
that
turning.
immediately?
I do not. And I
Ah,
need to do touch-ups on it because I never
that's
sealed
so
it because
cool.
I needed to do the touch-ups, and it's a little too cold to do the touch-ups right now. But
So you can see we every meme and thing that we share, it has a
it's because we
lot
know
more
each
to
other
it
really well.
than like we don't have to explain it to one another. We already
She knows
know.
about my manifesto and she's seen
I
it.
know
It
it lives on the fridge.
oh,
It lives
I
on the
do
fridge.
know. I thank you, Jan. I do know that brick needs a special type of paint. I was leaning towards lime wash because we actually had a building um in our town that collapsed and some it was an apartment building and it was very tragic. People died in the building. Um and apparently if you paint
That
brick
was
it can
national
damage
news.
it was national news. It can damage the integrity of it. And I mean, knowing my house, that would probably end up happening. So
All for a garden,
I feel like I should do the lime wash because one, it's not like super permanent, like you can get that off, and it's supposed to be less upkeep over time. And um and it's porous, so the brick can still breathe,
which
which
is
is what
part
the
of the
problem
problem.
with the
Yeah.
paint is. Yeah. So I'm leaning towards like a really thick lime wash, like you barely water it down at all. So that's kind of my thought.
Good to know.
Let's see. Susan says if I wait long enough, the aspiration will die a natural death and my mind can move on to other things.
No, this one has not died. This
I
one
would,
lives.
it does live. It is still on the refrigerator as a nice little goal. Maybe not all of it will actually happen, but
Your 6 year plan's a 12-year plan, but
I would
whatever.
like to at least split my grasses this year. Last year, I kind of waited too long and I didn't have the right tool and I was a little broke, so I didn't want to go spend $45 on like the tool. But things are much better this year, so
$45
think
tool,
I'm gonna make it
dollar
happen.
tool done.
Yes, it's not it's not as scary this year, but I mean,
Yeah, last
not
year was rough.
frozen ground, that would be important. I have to wait a little bit, but I know my inspiration will get worse though because I'm back filming at the garden center next week, so I'm
Feed
gonna
the
walk in
addiction.
there, and it's gonna be bad, and I'm probably gonna leave with a house plant, and you know it happens, but
Whatever. It's
yes.
fine. We all,
Letitia says she's always owned a ranch style home. She hates stairs.
oh
They
man,
do
I
have a
miss my
basement.
ranch. I have to have scissors on 3 different floors, it seems like, to be able to
Yeah, that would be
function.
challenging.
And stuff never makes it right back where it's supposed to go because God forbid you take the stairs. Instead, you put
So
them on the stairs because you're going to take them up or down. You know this. Well, your foot knows this.
did I tell you
Hmm.
that I could not find these? And I probably have at least half a dozen.
Yes.
You know where they were?
Mm-mm.
My husband had been putting them on top of the dishwasher or not, or on top of the refrigerator. I'm
What?
5'2". Can I see the top of the refrigerator? No, I cannot. I was like, I cannot find
Why? Okay,
any of
why
these.
are they upstairs? What did he actually use to cut with them?
I
And
don't know.
who thinks to put them on top of the refrigerator?
Somebody who can see the top of the refrigerator,
Oh, I don't even
which would
want to
be my
think about
husband.
what the top of my refrigerator might look like.
One time we had a honeydew melon up there that we totally forgot about. And I was like, something does not smell right. Like, what's going on? And we discovered what had happened.
Oh
Unfortunately,
God,
that one was pretty gross. I feel
that
like we
sounds
should
awful.
transition from the refrigerator conversation to the organization.
Oh, absolutely. We have
I
a
think this is a natural
refrigerator.
one.
Oh, this is so satisfying.
It is
Love this
very
one.
satisfying. And I feel like you could
It
accomplish
doesn't,
this.
oh, maybe,
So in
except for
the
the fact
Midwest,
that we have way too many condiments, but
in the Midwest, there is a thing known as the garage fridge. So when you get a new fridge,
it's true.
your old fridge becomes your garage fridge, and it
Hmm.
basically is like the ugly fridge that you just put all the overflow in and the drinks and whatever.
It's where the
And
beer and the birthday
yes,
cake goes.
exactly. I have a garage freezer, not a garage fridge, and is currently filled with a quarter of a cow, and mozzarella sticks.
We can help you with
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure you can. But I sent her this, and I was like, I think this is my inspiration. Like that, I would aspire to live like this someday.
We all aspire for this. You got to turn it up. Yep, all the way. You got to turn it all the way up.
I think you can't hear it as well because I'm on my heads.
Oh, they're missing all the good sounds. Everything is like,
Hang on one second.
I mean, I'm not a very good alternative.
It's okay. The prettiness of it is good.
Just wait until you see how beautiful this turns out.
I know.
It went back to you. I mean, you're beautiful too.
Oh
Just as
no.
beautiful as the
Am I not
refrigerator.
sharing?
Nope, not
Oh wait,
anymore.
hang on.
We got
Dang
to
it.
the cheeses.
Let me get
God,
back.
God, we're good
I
at
paused it and
technology.
everything is up. So let's get back to the share. Okay, so this is the final look. And it looks so gorgeous. And I I would feel like weird about this because I would be like, I don't have carrots every single week, or like,
Eat
I would
half
feel
that
like
stuff.
my kids do. My kids, like Lily, will eat like carrots and veggies and like over anything else. Which at least like she'll eat that. Like that's the healthy stuff that she does get, is like the strawberries and the carrots
That's
and
like
whatever else.
$300 of eggs up there.
I know it's so much. Hey, I got a really good deal on eggs at Costco today, but I literally bought like the last pack of eggs they had. It's getting crazy out there. But
It's getting crazy out there.
it's
I mean, and
crazy out
so
there. But it's
they
just
showed
gorgeous.
washing all of this, and like, so
Yeah.
everything's washed. The drinks like filter to the front on their own. They have like little, oh my
It's
gosh.
just so beautiful.
It's so
But like
beautiful. It's what I aspire to in my organization with everything. And it's,
and then life happens.
and then, yeah, I'm like, where
And
does my Chipotle burrito leftover go?
in the garage fridge, it goes in the garage
And then
fridge.
garage. Oh, so this you're right. This is main fridge. This is not garage fridge worthy.
Yes.
Garage fridge is where you take the beer and you don't actually take
Yeah,
it out of the box. You just go and grab it from the
exactly.
middle of nowhere
Or
for
this
like
time of year,
forever.
you can just put it outside. That's what I did with my Spindrift
I
today. I just had it in the garage because it's not heated, and it is ice cold. It's not
set from
even
our
in
body
anything.
for Alabama, she is not putting her beer outside.
No, definitely not. That would not be so
Definitely
good.
none outside.
But yes, that's definitely what you do is you have garage fridge for anything that's not pretty. And then this is just like that you open it up and friends are like, "How do you live like this? Like,
And
don't
you're
you have
like,
children?"
ah, it's easy.
Although one time I was at Chantel's, not this house, but your last house,
Mhm.
and my kids were like trying to get something, some sort of food. And the she just opens up this drawer and it's filled with snacks and everything's lined up all beautifully. And I was
It
like,
was
"L-
beautiful.
it was gorgeous." And her kid, it was right at their level. And I was like, "Oh, that is
The
genius.
snack drawer. I miss my
Genius."
snack drawer. I don't have good drawers here. I need to redo my pantry. I'll have to film that and share that adventure because my husband wants to do it himself. Now, we've always
Oh,
said that he could, so he's an interventional radiologist.
he probably
And
could actually do it though.
the thing is that he's pretty good at this kind of stuff. And so the running joke is that he's going to get himself a white utility van that says, John's IR and light carpentry and, and
I
like
like it.
go into business for himself.
So, like, I would trust John to do that though. I think he could totally pull that
Well,
off
what
because
about your
he, the
husband's
reason
new
is,
adventure?
well, no, this is why I know John can do it because he told me one time, he's like, "Yeah, I had to replace the garbage disposal yesterday." If we had to replace the garbage disposal, it would
Oh
require a
God.
father or father-in-law coming out to do it for us. Like, this is not something my husband would just be able to do. So, my husband is trying to find his midlife crisis hobby. He's 45. And he,
And John has already found his. He is
yes,
39 and he found meat,
there's a
smoking
joke
meat.
that you either have to like get really into meats, like making meat, grilling meat, smoking meat, whatever, or World War II history. And there's not really any other options once you
There
hit
is not
midlife.
a lot of other options. I mean,
At
unless you
least
have the
for the
price for exotic
millennials.
cars.
For the millennials, that's
Yeah,
how it
that's it.
works.
You go
And
nerdy or you go meaty.
my husband is Gen X, but he's having the millennial experience because he didn't graduate until us millennials graduated. Because it took a little bit longer.
He's
But
living young.
Letitia says I can replace the garbage disposal. I probably could.
Excuse me.
I bet you with the right YouTube video, I probably could manage that stuff. But so my husband's like, I was thinking maybe I could learn to do some stuff with the cars, like change the oil or something. And I looked at him, this was like 2 days ago. And last weekend, I had to remind him.
Sweetheart.
I was like, hey, honey, when you try to connect the garage television to Wi-Fi, all you did was move the internet router and took out the entire fiber cable coming into our home. And we were without internet for a day and a half while we waited for a tech to come. So I'm thinking maybe
Maybe.
you should not you should not be doing anything with the cars. You need a different hobby because
Oh God.
that's a lot more expensive to fix than getting the cable guy or the
Right? Like
internet
we
guy back
want a
out.
nice safe hobby for you,
I know,
sweetheart.
right?
Like
Oh my gosh.
knitting.
Or like one time when he decided he was going to fix our dryer, he got it all apart. He thought he could do it from a YouTube video. And then he's like, "Yeah, I can't do this." And I was like,
I
"I
can't
shouldn't
do
have
this.
canceled the appointment. I should not have canceled the appointment." Yes, we are millennials. We are elder millennials,
I think I'm just
as
kind of
Eliza
not.
Scheringer would say.
Am I an elder millennial? Yeah, I
I
guess I
am.
am.
I definitely am.
I
And
don't
you're only
feel
a year
like an
younger than me.
elder millennial.
We are, unfortunately.
Yeah. Millennials are in their midlives, if
We
you
are.
can believe it.
I turned 40. I'm among the first, the pioneers. All
The
right, I'm gonna go.
pioneers.
I'm gonna blow my nose off of the mic, or I'm gonna be sniffling the entire time.
Pretty real around here. Although she has a really epic nose blow. Not gonna lie. You heard it from me. She can't hear this, so you know. I mean, I had to live with this woman on a boat for a number of days. She can blow nose. There she comes. I told them that you have a really epic nose blow.
It's very loud. I sound like my grandpa did.
He's like, I literally lived with this woman on a boat for like
I'm just glad I
weeks.
didn't snore when I was on there too badly.
I mean, you did, but like it wasn't, it felt like home. I mean, I have a husband.
So I snore like your husband, is what you're telling me. I'm as
Maybe
bad as
that
a
didn't
man.
come out as the,
I'm as bad as a 6 foot former football player
yeah,
snoring in your
whatever.
bed.
You snore like a D lineman, it's fine.
That's wonderful. That's just
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. One time, this is because of the scoliosis. It was when I was running a lot, and I went to pick up a race packet. And I was small at this point. I was like maybe 120 pounds and 5'2", and
Mhm.
just very active, lots of running, lots of weightlifting. And I got like they're giving out massages or whatever. And she's like, your shoulders are like massaging a 300-pound man. I was like, uh, is that good?
He's like,
And
great,
she's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, fabulous.
great,
This, this is
thanks.
wonderful. And this is before I got really into quilting. And so my shoulders have always been jacked. And so now that like I spend a lot of time in this position, it has not helped me
Yeah,
much, but
lovely.
oh well.
Oh man.
But
Let's see. I think I'm almost at the point I get to sew these
you
together
are
soon.
doing so much. It looks so cool behind you. All right, tell me about this situation you have going with your design
I
wall.
so when I got the long arm, it kind of blocked my ability to use my design wall. So I was like, I have to come up with a temporary solution because I'm too lazy to go in and out of like the basement to the other portion of the basement so I could lay everything out. So I made my own design wall that's like temporary using a this is like for photo backdrops, like when
Yeah.
you're at a wedding or something like that and you do the little photo things or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's literally just a big metal prop up like photo booth
And is that
thing.
batting or is that flannel?
That's just batting. And I literally like have it pinned with like really big things. And then I have it
Yeah,
on
like the
like
big
I have
clips.
like curtain hooks holding it up here so that when I wasn't just holding stuff up here, I just like pull it out of the way so it didn't feel so cluttery. And that's
Yeah,
my
that makes sense.
$35 solution.
That is a really good $35 solution.
Well, all these portable walls were really kind of expensive, and I was like, I don't
Yeah, they
want
are.
like, so there you go.
I
That's what
have
you can.
stuff to make one from foam, like the foam insulation,
Hmm.
but that is yet another project that I have on the back burner that I have not
Maybe you
actually gotten
can get
to.
your husband to make that one for you since he
That
wants
one
to be
just
handy.
involves duct tape, so I bet you that could
He can do
happen.
that.
I
I
bet
mean,
you.
what can he takes out the fiber making that, then
I
it's not
literally,
supposed to be a hobby for him.
so I made him a man cave. Like we cleared out our garage. I painted it all. I did the floor coating. I did all the things to it. He did a lot of the clean out, but I did a
The
lot of the
floor
prep to
coating
get it going.
story we've said here before, and it's
We
so
have.
funny. She's like, they just throw the things. They throw the things, and it was like you threw them like
I
you
watched
were the flower girl at a wedding.
basically I watched one YouTube video where they said that you should grab the little chips and throw them up in the air and let them land as they may. And that I tried that one time and it was clumped and I was like, well, that's not how I'm gonna do
Mm-mm.
this. And it's not like you can practice, right? Like you're doing this as a DIY, you're a one and done. You're not gonna have a chance to like really perfect
Right.
this skill. And so
Do
I
it in a
went
friend's
through
garage first.
like 4 packs of this stuff. It is so thick. There's so many flakes everywhere. And then I go to Chantel's house the very next weekend and there's just like little flakes
You're
here and
she's like
there.
out there like I think I was probably showing you my new garage fridge. And,
Probably.
and she's like looking around doing one of these like,
I'm like,
"Oh,
I was like, oh, I messed that up.
that's what it's supposed to look like when a professional does it." I'm like, "What are you looking at? Look at my fridge." And she's like, the ground of your garage. It's really nice."
It's a lot. But so we have neighbors who their daughter has been in daycare and swim lessons with my daughter. And So we were chatting at swim lessons last week, and she's like, "Oh, your project turned out really nice. What's your husband gonna work on out there?" And I was like, "Drinking beer and watching games." He doesn't really work on anything.
That's my kind of hobby right there.
So, Siberian Wind wants to see my EPP. This is the Tula Nova using the original spirit animal because the project is that old. And I'm maybe going to try and finish it in a decade. So we'll see if I can do that. I have about 2 years left in order to make that happen. I will
You'll get it
after
done.
after today, though, I'm going to have to do more cutting prep off
You
camera
like
if
the
I'm going
cutting
to do
prep
it.
though.
I do, but I have like something that I feel like I need to do first before I do that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So
yeah. That
I have a project that I absolutely have to do.
See, I love when I'm given a project. Like I'm doing this quilt test right now for Emily, Peach and Honey and Studios. And I love being given a project because it's like, okay, and then make this fantastic. And you're like, great. I get to make one decision, but not the other,
Hmm.
right? Because if you're given the opportunity to choose the pattern and the fabric, then that's just too overwhelming for me. Like my hyperactive
It's a
mind
lot.
can't handle that, But if you told me, here's this thing, make it great, I can do that. That's
Jan wants
fun.
to know if my husband uses the man cave, and he has been using the man cave now that it
Ah,
has TV out
if
there.
fabric following them.
That was the whole thing. He was trying to get the TV set up so he could watch the Illini game last Sunday because he thought if he watched it in a different location that it would bring luck to the Illini. Because he's that kind of a fan. And that is when he took out our internet, and then we had to go a day and a half without internet when the children were home all day. So that was really fun.
Oh
And
Lord.
but thankfully we have a healthy DVD collection to keep them entertained. And
God,
Sundays always end up
no.
busy, I feel like. But now that it's all hooked up and he can watch his games out there, he's all bundled up, and I got him a space heater for out there, and
No good. You
so
have to
it's not
suffer
so
out
bad.
there. No.
I know. Well, he's used to driving around all day with the truck door open, the UPS truck door open. So that's actually warmer for him sitting out there. But I got this really funny vid or picture of Lily out there all bundled up watching the game with him. She was under like two
Oh, that's
blankets and had her
cute.
sweatshirt on and a pink sparkly hat. It was rather adorable.
It's gonna be quite the argument, when they decide to go to Augustana instead.
Oh, I don't know. Angela thinks she's going to the University of Illinois, and Lily, I think, is going to go to Augustana, which is 2 miles from my house. This is important to know.
And that's where
And
we went. Very
that's where
important to
we went
know.
to school. And I am probably going to have to fight with her to go live in a dorm, is probably what's going to happen. That's going to be
Oh
my
yeah.
child that doesn't want to leave me. Angela is going to go move away and go live her life. Lily is going to be a stage 5 clinger for her entirety of her life, I think.
I was a stage 5 cleaner too. My mom had to force me to like leave to go to school.
Yeah.
I was like,
So how
I
did
could
that
go for
go? Because
free.
I feel like this is my future here.
Um, my mom was a psychologist and she's basically like, this is unhealthy, you leave.
Well,
And so I left.
that's one
And
way
then
to
I
do it.
didn't go very far. I mean, I lived not far from,
Yeah,
like, it
like 20
wasn't,
minutes.
well, no. I lived at that point, we were living up in Sterling. So
Okay,
it was a
like an
little over
hour.
an hour. It wasn't too bad.
Why did I
It
think
was fun
Sherrard?
because I did go to Sherrard. I went to a lot of
Okay.
schools. I went to Sherrard for a couple years in
I thought
junior
that
high
was
into high school.
for some
And
reason,
then
I thought that that was a stat I had to memorize back in the day.
I wouldn't, you know what? That was Courtney.
Okay, there we go.
But
The
Courtney
fact
knew
that you
me.
still remember that.
Oh no, I have all this stuff, like the purpose of the, whatever. I know the whole thing. Still, it's stuck in my head forever. I don't get to
That's
like
funny.
forget these things. Don't worry, I don't
We
know my passwords for shit. I don't know the password for anything. But I remember my childhood phone number and all the information I was forced to memorize at a sorority. Like,
We had to memorize all these facts and things about members in the
yeah,
sorority history.
don't
And
worry. I still have that memorized.
I worked 30 hours a week at the student newspaper and was trying to not kill my GPA while I was doing it. So I just took the
She took the
punishment
bare
for
minimum.
not knowing it. I took the punishment for not knowing it. And I was rather fit that year. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's
I
fair.
look I look good in a skirt.
You know what I knew my strength wasn't? Being strength, having
Yes.
strength. I was like, I'm a brain. So I'm gonna do the brain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
I'm
what I
gonna keep
got.
up my grades and I'm gonna do the newspaper and I'm gonna do my best and take the punishment.
What else do we have on our meme docket?
What do we have? Let's see.
What's one I
Let
sent
me
you? Did you
share.
pull up
You
any
know
of
what?
those?
I'm gonna switch. I did not. I could.
You did
I'm gonna
not?
did not. I'm a mess. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take the speaker and change it to MacBook Pro.
Let's see if we can get some better sound quality.
And then maybe you guys will hear the audio this time.
Oh, that sounded different.
Take that off for a second.
Well, I'm not on camera. I'm gonna slip
Where are
out
we
and
at?
get
Share my
myself a
screen.
beverage and a blow nose.
What
We
else
are
do we
on the
have?
blow nose train today.
Let's see.
Oh,
What do
mm,
we have left? Let's go with perimenopause.
because this is us. There I go. This is definitely Stephanie.
Me and my bestie trying to tackle perimenopause together. Because I feel like we're both entering that stage of life right now.
It's true. It is so true. We are
Hang on, let me get my headphones back on here.
I didn't hear a
Let me
thing
hear.
from that, by the way. It did not transfer.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I did not hear any
The
music or
audio.
anything. Yeah.
There wasn't, we got to figure that out. I think
We're
it
gonna
works
get
when I'm
this.
not using my headset because it
We're
worked
gonna
last month.
and some people are watching without actually like they're listening, but they're not super watching. So we do
So
have to be aware of
this
like,
is true. So it's
yeah,
these two women who were trying to like get off of a ski ramp and failed horribly at it.
feel
And the
great. One of them got off and immediately like fell over, and then the other
yes,
one got off and basically got hit by the thing.
well, and got off in the grass, not on the actual thing. I feel like we should save the fifth one until next week when we can figure out audio. But
Yeah, the next one definitely needs the audio for it.
we
Sorry,
need
my camera's
audio.
trying to follow me as I sit down my
It's
drink.
all
I don't
good.
have a good place to do it.
All right, let me see what you sent me this week. But yeah, I feel like definitely hitting that.
You gotta get
I
into the
I just got a
Instagram.
text of welcome to the 40s club because I didn't realize that it was my 40th birthday that I had this week. Some of my good friends from around here, which is hilarious. But
We didn't realize that's great. I love that
they're
you didn't
already in
realize
their
that.
40s, and I think one is even in their 50s. So I feel like
You know what? I am a collector of all the
it's all good.
decades. So I just, pick up people left and right, regardless of age. It doesn't really matter to me.
This is true.
Your demographic is not an issue for me. If you have jokes, I'm here for you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pull this one up and share it on the phone because this is
All of mine are words.
so this one is she sends it to me. This is a sandal that has a nice looking foot already in it. So it's really a shoe, but it looks like a sandal. And she goes, options for that ugly toenail. But it's ugly toenails for me, plural.
I was being
Because
nice,
you
okay?
were being nice. I've lost both of my big toenails, one of them twice, and
She would like
they
look
are
at my
not
feet
normal.
and be like, this is not fair. Like, why do your feet look like that?
They look so cute. I
She won't be
also
making any foot fetish,
no.
paraphernalia in any future for her. So,
So I was talking with Ray and John and who plan the cruises, and they were talking about, yeah, nobody who's young has like a real job anymore. It's always like online stuff. And I was like, yeah, my feet don't
Ray.
look good enough for that. And they just started cracking up laughing. I sent you this because I thought that you needed to get one for your husband. The
Oh yeah, the
the
unicorn
shorts
lifting.
with the unicorn powerlifting. I felt like
We're
John would
we're My Little
maybe
Pony
appreciate
family.
that. Yes, for sure. For sure.
I have no shame in admitting my love from a whole bunch of animated shows. I have kids. It's what I get to watch, and I've developed a real affinity of love for them. Plus, I went to design school, and so one of the things that I had to do was learn like building furniture and modeling
Hmm.
things and like what they do in animation. And without the animating part, and I'll tell you, that was some of the hardest stuff I've ever done.
I'm sure.
It was so difficult. Like I have this respect for people who build video games and do animation that is just beyond. I had the talent to be able to do animation. Is hands down what I would be doing with my life right now, but I don't. So here I am, quilting.
Doing quilting. It's all good.
Oh, I love quilting. Don't get me wrong. It's clearly like my favorite thing.
You also sent
But
me a poem this week.
I love this poem.
Early morning love poem. Juve, you are so groovy. I'd like to stay under you all of Tuesday.
But it's all like done in like how duvet
ETs.
is
Yeah.
is spelled.
How it's spelled. So it's all VET at the end.
So it's groove like ET on the end.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I sent you many Cocker Spaniel videos this week for some reason.
You were in a mood.
I was. And
Some of my
you
stuff was a little too
some of it's
spicy to be able to
inappropriate for
share.
work. Yeah, the lamp picture I feel like we can't put on the internet.
Hmm.
You sent me this pot.
So okay, remember like last week we were talking about how there was this
But
pot
look, you gotta
that
look at the drip pan for it. So it just like drips its dirty water out or its extra water out into its little saucer. And I
was
feel like
just
I would have to
hilarious.
explain too many things to my children for that one. But
I agree. It would be worth having in your house if you didn't have children,
yes,
because explaining that it would be like, why does Aunt Stephanie have that in her house?
I brought home
Well,
the Nirvana record that has the baby on it.
oh yeah,
And my 10-year-old had so many questions. And I was I was like, it's
never
just
mind.
I'm like,
That's the
yeah,
name
it's
of
a
the
real baby.
smells
Yeah,
like
it's a re
Teen Spirit.
yeah, it's a real thing. And I have over 300 vinyls and not a single Nirvana. And so I saw it at Target and I was like, okay, we're gonna
Wow.
remedy this.
I was gonna say that's
I know.
I'm afraid I'm going to sew this to the wrong side.
You better think twice before you do that.
I think it goes this way. This is a really long seam, so we want to think hard about this one.
One time I had to rip out an 8-foot seam when I was doing curtains. It was
I
not
just wouldn't have curtains.
it
It's
was like a
just
rated R sewing session, is what it
the
was with the language.
language and the brutality.
It was pretty
Ripping.
bad. Yes, it was very bad. I was not a very
Nope, it is the other way. Okay, hold on. I got to think about this.
yes, definitely think.
Wait, did I?
Happy Friday, the cheeky quilters.
I may have done this wrong.
Uh-oh.
All right,
All
I
right. While
will.
Chantel thinks, I want to ask you all, what are your goals for the week for your quilting, sewing? Do you have goals? Or is it
Or
just to
do you
enjoy
have something
myself?
random to share in general? Because I will
Or
still be
that.
here
We
in.
are totally random. You guys can
We
be
don't do
random.
anything actually of, you know, making sense. That would be silly. Why would we do that?
Chantel, you might get recognized at QuiltCon this year.
That would be fun.
That would be very fun.
I would be really excited.
It is a weird thing, I'm going to tell you, when it happens the first time.
I'm here for it just because I have no other option really.
I can tell. So when I first started doing shows as Quilt Addicts Anonymous, I would occasionally get recognized for something. And then we did the Jelly Roll Rug video, and that thing went bananas. And
Oh, that did go bananas. Yeah.
and
You
after,
are the jelly roll rug
well,
person.
me and the Erica aren't basically, but after that, it was just like everybody knew who I was. It was wild. It was a very wild situation to like have people know who you were and you have no idea who they are.
They're
Let's
like, "Hi,
see.
stranger."
And like people wanted selfies with me, and I was like,
Cool.
okay, cool.
And now you're the person at the gym that gets recognized. Okay, I did have
I
it
know.
correct,
Ooh, good.
you know, so we're happy with that.
All right. The Siberian Wind is teaching a new quilting design on our channel on Sunday. That's exciting. And our other goal is catching up on what we've been falling behind on. I feel like my whole quilting schedule is like a falling behind. But I also have been trying to not really set deadlines to just enjoy the process. So it's a very like juxtaposition in my brain right now.
Right, like you're trying to relax, but you
I know.
still, we all need deadlines.
DK is gonna stop sewing and clean the house. That's so sad. That's probably why I didn't get much done because I literally did.
So sad.
I texted, I texted Chantel last week. I was like, I won laundry because I actually did every single piece of laundry in the house. It was even the towels. It was insane, the bedding, all the things.
I'm really
And
proud of you for that. That
I made
is
it through.
epic.
It is still on my dining room table a week later, but it
Oh,
is
whatever.
folded and it's clean. So
Dining
there's
room
that.
tables are for laundry.
And I took the clothes that no longer fit and removed them from the house and the books in the same week that I removed them. I felt very adult.
Wow.
I know,
I,
like I had it together.
I'm impressed for you.
I know it's won't happen again for a long
It
time, let
will
me tell
never
you.
happen again.
All
But
right. Rocky is finishing her quilt wall. She's excited to have it finished. What
oh, that'd
quilt
be cool.
wall? So like a design wall or
Yeah,
like
I
one of those
imagine.
felt wall things that looks like a quilt? Because I've seen those too. That sounds fun. And then they double as design walls. AB
Mine
sews every
behind me,
Monday.
behind this is actually felt wall.
Yeah. The people do it for acoustics,
Yeah, I
but
feel
then
like I
quilters,
understand why the 70s everybody carpeted everything because my kids are so loud. I'm like, you know what? I see the purpose in this now.
I was wait, this is probably why I took an hour like just lay down in the dark before this started because I was way overstimulated with the children today. And when I took them to gymnastics, there's like this time where the two classes overlap, and there's a lot of very young siblings that go with the class before ours. And it was just like too much screaming. Like I'm usually pretty good, but it was just like too much. And I was like, okay, I've just had too much. And I had like
Oh,
come straight from Costco and which is its own brand of overstimulation.
chaos. Yes.
Yes, it was just too much, but I totally get it.
Sorry, I
But
have
yeah,
the sniffles. I need to
now
leave
you
my
need to
little
go blow
AirPods
your
here
nose.
and go like blow my nose.
Let's see. Ooh, Prep for Eternity is actually trying to learn to quilt. I have a whole beginner quilting series on the channel that you can check out. It is free. There's a free pattern to go with it. So you can definitely check that out. Sarah wants to plan her projects that she wants to work on this year, like monthly. She has too many projects that just need blocks assembled together. I feel that. My quilt guild, I don't know that they do this all the time, but they'll sometimes have a challenge where like you number your projects and then they will draw a number at the beginning of the month. And that's the project that you have to work on. And if you finish it, then you get entered to win like a prize or something. So that could be cool if you could like get some accountability with some quilting friends to do something like that. That would be pretty cool. But Let's see. Change in flooring. Oh, AB's doing some changing. Oh, goodness. The house is getting rid of carpet and replaced with LVP. Chantel has LVP,
Hello,
luxury
sorry, I'm
vinyl
back.
tile. AB is going with luxury vinyl tile throughout her whole house. You have that, and you
Yeah,
love it.
I
It
have
looks
plank,
great.
but yeah, it's I had a senior dog that um she had no interest in going outside, let's be honest. Like she was not going to go potty outside, and that floor basically saved me because you can clean it with just about anything. It's
And it
very
always
hard to
looks
mess up.
nice.
Yeah.
You chose a good color for having it always look like
Yeah,
it's
it has
fine.
enough variation in it that it's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be like that.
I picked a red bamboo when bamboo was in style. I regret that flooring choice every single day because you see everything. It looks nice for about 5 minutes after you've cleaned it, and then
This is
that's
the
it.
best 5 minutes ever.
I know. It's like, oh, I did a thing. It's
God, I love
fabulous.
when my floor is actually like clean and like the texture just looks so perfect and everything. And because I see it, you know what I mean? Because I've seen it very clean. And so I know what it
Hmm.
looks like very clean.
Oh, goodness. My husband Art and I are at a standstill in the bathroom at the moment
Hmm.
because I can tell it's somebody somewhere missed the toilet.
Oh, and there's
And
one boy.
there's only one boy in the house. And so I think he needs to be the one to mop the floor in there. But so far that has not happened. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to try and make him do it this weekend when he's off.
Crap, what did I do?
Because it's
Did
gross.
I?
Did you turn it the wrong way now? Do you have to
I
think more
don't
again?
know. I have to think again.
You're thinking too hard.
Hmm. Okay.
You're second guessing yourself. This is probably not good.
It's this way.
Oh my gosh. Siberian Wind has over 14 tops to base and quilt. It's piling up on you. Do you have your own long arm or are you trying to do all that on
I have like 14 as well, probably.
like a I have a few, but let's be honest, they're probably never gonna get done, except maybe my
I had
Christmas
at
quilt.
least 8 that I could name right now that are all waiting.
Change the Netflix or streaming password until he cleans it. That is a really good idea.
It's brilliant.
Except my children
Tell
rely on
them the
that.
password.
It's like hooked up to
Wait, do it for a Monday when the kids will be.
that's perfect. That's the day to do it. My husband has Sunday, Monday off.
Oh, the
Stephanie's gonna
things
turn
we
off the
learn.
Wi-Fi. Apparently, with this new thing that we have, since my husband screwed up the Wi-Fi, um, we had to get a new router or whatever. You can turn off the internet from an app.
That's
So
kind of brilliant,
that might be something I need to look into. That could work really well. Just gotta
especially when
fix.
you know how to use the app.
Well, the app's on his phone, but
Oh,
I could get
darn.
at it and it should be fine.
Oh,
The Siberian
you're.
Wind says she has to fix the tension on her long arm. It's manual without
Oh,
automation. Mine is also manual without automation,
so is mine.
and
But I
I love
messed
it
up the
that way.
timing on mine, so I can't talk about my long arm right now. Donna's like, I have 20 plus tops to quilt. I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I believe that. The way you finish tops,
Mm.
you are a machine. You get so much
You
done.
are the machine.
I know, right?
Where did I put my blocks?
She changes the password. That's how she keeps her hubby in line and adds kids to his profile. That could be funny.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear about this.
I gotta figure out how to do this now.
Oh, absolutely.
I could definitely change all the streaming passwords for the
I want
day.
you to do it first though, so that, my husband has a video game. Uh,
He could figure that out.
love. We'll call it love. So,
His
Yeah, he
I go back and forth because he walks more than 2 marathons a week for work. So, and Sundays are always very busy around the house with
mhm.
church and whatever. And trying to,
So good like that.
clean and get well, I'm
I'm
going to be
just
totally
saying.
honest. Most of the time it's getting Angela to confirmation. So, I have to go attend a 2-hour meeting though with
Ugh,
the local leaders or whatever as part of her confirmation. So I'll be on campus this Sunday. So Angela's going to see the library, which is probably the biggest library she will have ever seen in her life. So that'll be kind of fun for her.
excuse me.
Excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups now.
Yeah, what is wrong with us?
I don't know. Oh my goodness.
We're struggling in our
So
own way.
I accidentally got referred to a gastroenterologist, and
This is a
I don't
really
know
funny
how it
story.
happened. I was supposed to get referred to a sleep specialist,
This
and
is
I
why you guys stay
accidentally
this late.
got referred to a gastroenterologist. And they're like, "Oh, well, do you want the appointment? We can just cancel." And I was like, "No, I want the appointment because I have like a laundry list of things that are not right with me." And so
I'm a little broken.
I know. And one of the things is sometimes when I am eating and it doesn't it's not tied to any one thing, so it's not an allergy. Like I will feel like my throat start to close and I have to just drink something and it will like clear its way out. And it usually comes with the hiccups, which is why like it triggered the memory. And it's the weirdest thing, and I feel like I can't breathe. And they're like, "Oh, well, no big deal. We can just like do a scope down there too." And because they're going to do a colonoscopy, which
Oh,
I
fun.
I've had one of those before. I know what's in
Oh,
store for me.
I have
But
too. God,
yeah, I know. I'm so
what a
excited.
memory.
And
Tattoo,
so
actually.
So
Oh,
that's happening. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll just do it at the same time. We can stretch it out a little in there." And I'm just like, "Oh my God.
you're
Everything's
broken.
breaking." But,
Well, we're just trying to get it taken care of before it's broken, really. I mean,
I can't remember which comedian it was, but it's like when you turn 40, they just stop trying to fix things. They're just like
yes.
they're like, "Yeah, that happens."
Yeah. Oh God, who was that?
Was it Tom Segura?
Lewis? I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like everybody has a joke about that because they're all comedians over 40.
Yeah, pretty much. But I feel like men get better treatment when they do actually show up to the doctor because they know if a man has gone to the doctor that something's like actually wrong.
I was like, have you ever seen a man with a cold? Come on.
Yeah. But then they're also not going to be like, "Are you sure it's just not anxiety?"
It's true. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen for a man. But Donna says she needs to stop piecing for a month and just get them all quilted.
That's not
Oh,
a bad plan, but you would
I mean,
probably be a little
you said
sad.
you have the pro stitcher, so yeah, you could knock it out.
I have quilt motion, but I haven't figured it out. Emily's going to help me.
Oh my gosh.
How did
So
you know?
apparently some people have a tight esophaguses, which I think this actually runs in my family because I know that my nephew's on medication for something similar to that. But she had someone who got a piece of steak stuck in their esophagus and had to get it surgically removed in Paris because of that. That's insane.
Oh, I have a story about that. Um, Unknown medical person with, whatever that I might know personally through marriage, um, may have had a patient, no name given, because that would be a HIPAA violation. At one point, this person, this woman, got a piece of meat stuck in her throat. A similar situation to like what she's talking about. And so she couldn't get this meat unstuck from her throat. So she took her toothbrush and tried to push the meat down, but then swallowed her toothbrush. This is a completely
How?
real story.
How do you do that?
Swallowed the toothbrush.
Oh my gosh.
So then she had to go to the hospital and she's trying to explain to them that she was eating this meat. and was really hungry. And, instead of trying to get the meat out or throw up or something, she tried to push the meat down and swallowed the entire toothbrush.
Oh my God.
Okay. So now this toothbrush is like I don't know, I'm not medical. It's kind of in the middle. It's not like in the stomach yet. And so they're trying to get it out, but apparently she was extremely obese, like hypermorbidly obese. And there wasn't a lot of room. And in trying to get it out, they accidentally pushed it all the way to her stomach.
Oh my
So now
God.
she has this like the meat made
A
it to the
toothbrush
stomach,
in her
but she
stomach.
has her stomach has a toothbrush in it now. And so they had to like surgically remove this toothbrush. There's no other option. And and the story goes on and on and on, and it's just ridiculous. But the important thing to know is that if you get a piece of meat stuck in your esophagus, do not swallow your toothbrush. You will
Oh
have
my
to have it
goodness.
surgically removed, and
Goodness.
that is frowned upon. Yeah. This person also hid her wallet in her folds and like lifted and put the wallet in and dropped it down. This is in Cook County though, so you have to imagine, I mean, this is like a rough
We're talking Cook
hospital.
County, Chicago.
Cook
So
County,
like,
Chicago, and Cook
yeah,
County Hospital. Like people are still being seen in wards there.
yeah.
Like not ideal. And yeah, so she was hiding her wallet in the fold underneath. Yeah.
My grandmother, my Italian grandmother used to put money in her bra like that. We'd go to a store
Yeah.
and she would like dig in her bra to pay for groceries. I was like, oh my God, grandma. And she had
It's a
I feel
built-in
like
wallet.
I'm starting to look like a little Italian old lady because I put on too much weight. And like I've got, the girls to attest to that. But hers were like way bigger
Hers
than mine.
were full-size wallets, not
They were,
not a
they were.
little coin
You could have put a
pouch.
whole handbag in there. Like it was a lot. It
Oh
was
my
a whole
God.
lot.
That is so funny.
Oh goodness.
Dude, this is the kind, yeah, surgically removed in Paris for that meat. Oh my gosh.
I hope it was a good steak because that was a very expensive meal, probably.
That was in Paris, of all places.
Oh my goodness.
Well, at least
That
she
is a
didn't
memorable
swallow her
vacation.
toothbrush.
A very memorable vacation.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I cannot imagine.
And the chef was probably offended that she may not have liked her meal.
So my husband and I have actually been like hanging out in the evenings because we both have been managing to stay awake to do
That's
so,
amazing.
which is I know, right? And so we watched The Chef yesterday with Anna Taylor-Joy and
Oh my gosh, I
Ralph
saw that.
Fiennes.
I haven't watched it, but I was
It's
curious.
horror, but it's not like gory horror or scary horror. It's
It's like
suspenseful horror.
thriller horror.
Yeah, it's just like it's not even
I hate suspense horror. I mean, I don't want it to be gory, but at the same time, that like kind of creepy.
it's not
I know it, I
like it really isn't bad at all. Like my husband doesn't like horror films at all, but like he was totally fine with this one. Like there's nothing
it's more
I
of a
mean
psychologically,
it is it's a psychological thriller.
yeah.
And it's like examining society and people's role in it and how we interact with one another, which I thought was rather an interesting way to go about it. And so that was a good one. I highly recommend that one.
It's on Netflix, right?
It is on Netflix right now.
Which we're changing the password for, right?
We are first thing Monday morning when I get into work. I'm going to change all the passwords, but
You're gonna be so good.
I know.
We're naughty.
Last week I was like, hey, I had gotten to everything but like 2 loads of towels. I was like, I want you to just like do these 2 loads of towels and this one load, like we're just gonna wash it and then we're gonna go donate it to the animal shelter
Mhm.
because like they're old, they're mildewy, smelling. We have new towels. Like they just need to go.
I just bought all new
And
towels too. I have never
they
done that.
are they're sitting in my garage
Hmm.
and I'm
What
like,
about the
ah, dang
things
it.
that live in the car? What do you have that lives in the car that hasn't left the car that should have left the car?
Mostly Starbucks wrappers. Yeah.
What is everybody's thing that lives in the car that shouldn't live in the car that lives like permanently in the car? For me, it's always some type of drink that I should have taken out of the car. For whatever reason, we have like random coats that the kids take off in the car,
We
and they
have
just kind
those.
of like live there forever.
Ours do make it in.
And then the grocery, kind of items that we buy that tend to
I'm
stay in
really
the car are
bad
like
about
bins.
bringing in the dog food
Oh, the dog food. Yeah,
because
I let John
it's
bring
just
in dinner.
heavy and I don't want to deal with it.
And I don't want to do
And
it. Yeah, there are certain things that, and my husband's like, your car is a trash bin. He calls the car the rolling trash bin. And he's not wrong. And he's like, yes, but like, you don't let the kids eat in your car. Like, my kids live in their taxi, you know? Like,
oh my gosh, Donna takes everything out each time she gets home. This is how like my parents and my in-laws live. And I don't
oh my
know.
gosh,
My kids eat in my car too. And it's just like
I
it's the
mean,
back is the bad part where they're at.
I told John that it would be great if I got my car, maybe not detailed, but like well taken care of, like really well cleaned. I don't need like the vents to be like individually swiped with cotton tipped, Q-tips and things like that.
Hmm.
But it would be really nice if, for once on our anniversary, maybe that my car got really well cleaned. And
I
then
have to
maybe I could start
pile
anew.
all of my camera. Well, that won't necessarily do anything because my mother-in-law cleaned my car out really well at one point, and the
That's
kids
how she
still
says I love you.
wreak ha it is definitely, and it also makes me feel like I'm not really a fully functional adult.
Eh, well, I mean, maybe
But
you're functioning better because somebody did it for you.
true, it was helpful.
Hmm.
But I have to go pack all my film equipment into the back of my car to
Oh, for
bring
the
to
garden
film on
center.
Thursday. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask my husband this weekend to just go through and get all the trash out. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want all the trash out. Because our ritual is we will go to we swim lessons in the morning on Saturday, and then we have about an hour to get from swim lessons to my daughter's coding lessons. So we get lunch at Starbucks every single week. And the
Oh, that's
kids'
fun.
stuff just stays in the back seat every single time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, so there's just egg sandwich wrappers everywhere, all over the back of their seat.
I, yeah. My kids
And
are
then
like,
like,
"Ma, I can't carry it all. Will
oh
you
yeah, that
carry it?"
too.
And then
It's
I'm
like, I
like,
already have five of your things. You're gonna have to carry that
you're
one.
gonna have to carry something because, I can't do everything. And they
You
always think
can't?
that's
I bet you could.
ridiculous. I probably could.
Oh goodness. No,
Expecting
I
them
get
to
the
do
same thing.
anything, though, is ridiculous. Why would we do that?
Or like the beef stick that I brought with
It lives
to
in the car now.
yeah, there's a part of it that's in the car now because it got dropped on the floor by the
How do
5-year-old.
you people who say nothing ever lives in the car? How do
Well,
you
there
manage to
are
get it
people who
all out
don't
of the car?
eat. They don't eat in the car.
Oh my God,
So
that's
there are
like
never all the little crumbly bits.
where? Oh,
I'm much better at getting my stuff out of the car. Like
I
I
don't
don't really
even
leave
get
my
my stuff
trash
out
in
of the
there.
car. I'm bad at it. Half the time I leave my phone in the car and I can't find it for several hours.
My
I
husband
don't leave a
sent
lot though, to be fair.
sent me a text message or sent me a he rarely sends me anything that's like meme related. But it was this one that was like, "Hey, I'm going to take these clothes to Goodwill, but first I'm going to let them drive around in my trunk for like 6 months." And I
God,
thought it
I'm
was
pretty
really
sure my husband
funny.
sent me that too.
Well, but it was like the day that I had taken all the clothes to this little resale shop that we have, and then anything that they didn't take, I took straight over to Goodwill. I was like, this is not going back in my garage.
It
It's
doesn't
just
live
gonna
in
go
my
away.
car. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm so proud of
I
you all for
did it
not
all in the
having stuff
same
live in your car.
day. I
Yeah, and
know.
I'm that's just amazing, actually, because I like to let it suffer for a while.
In the back. Yeah, I understand.
Years of insurance. That's what I want to hear, Becky. Years of insurance cards in the glove box. Yeah,
I have
everybody's got a secret.
I have doctor's orders in my in my glove box. I was supposed to go, this is all related to the gastroenterologist that I wasn't supposed to have an appointment with, but I did. I had all this stuff. I ended up having to take the kids with me to the GI to talk about my gut health issues because they had a weather day. And I was like, I am not taking you with me to get like an x-ray of my colon. That's not going to happen. So they're still just in my glove box. So I don't lose it.
That's
So at
funny.
some point, I'm going to have to go do all that. But
God, we're broken and old. I
the
got a call from the eye doctor. They're like, "You're diabetic. We need to make sure that you've had your eye appointment. Does this date at this time work?" And I'm like, "This is how we do this now, huh?" You're like, "You're diabetic. You call me? That's great. I like this." That's
there you go.
helpful for me because the whole like they're like you need to make an appointment and have your eyes dilated every year, and I'm like my A1C is like 5. I take very good care of myself. Like, do we really have to do this every year? Yes, every year. But they call me now. So,
That's pretty good.
yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm going to be doing this forever. I have like 3 more seams left, but I feel like I'm going to be doing this forever.
I always get really excited when I get to that point because I can like see the end and then it gets bigger each time and I feel like just that little bit closer.
No, I really just want to quit.
I will say adding the sashing in between is a pain in the rear, but once I'm adding the rows that are sashed to each other, that's when I start to really get excited.
So, Letitia said, please take care of your diabetes. And so, oh, I absolutely know. I mean, like I said, my A1C is a 5. Like, you have to be a 6.5 to be considered for having diabetes. I take very, very good care of it, but it's just kind of funny because I'm at the age where they're like, you have to take your appointments. You have to make your appointments. Do you want an appointment for this? Do you want an appointment for that? It's like a platter that you just like take what you want. Yeah, I'll take a gastro appointment, a sleep study. Absolutely. I'll take one of those.
I'm
Eye
getting both of
appointment.
those.
Yeah, we'll get one of those too. And while we're at it, let's choose a pap smear. We'll take one of those too and a mammogram. Thank
I
you.
definitely need to get both of those.
We're like, we'll take one of everything.
So, okay, so the sleep study is so backed up that I can't get that until like the spring. And I think I was telling you about this because I had this thing, right? I'm overweight right now. I gained way too much weight last year. And I have a pinched nerve because there's too much weight in my stomach. And so it runs down the side of my leg. Doesn't bother me at all, except when I'm trying to lay down to go to sleep. And so I can only sleep on the left side. Otherwise, I wake up and I've got pins and needles all down the side of my leg. And it wakes me up multiple times a night because, you're asleep, you roll. And then I've
Yeah.
got all the dogs in the bed. And so I found out when you do a sleep study, there's two options. You can do it at home where they monitor you somehow, or you could do it in the office. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going to have to do it at home because they're not going to get the true
No,
sleep
you're gonna
study.
sleep like a baby.
I
You
know
know,
that would no sharing of beds or anything like
I
that.
had a sleep study at home once. Now that I think about it, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I had to be hooked up to special monitors and all of this stuff like that. And it was all very portable, and they were able to like basically determine that I didn't need an in-office one
Yeah.
at that point. But yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I have had a sleep study.
Joan says she has a replacement tire not mounted that lives in a very small trunk, and there's barely room for reusable bags back there. I do keep reusable bags back there because I will forget otherwise. Um, she would bring it in, but the apartment's too small with all the quilting stuff. I get that. Totally remember that. I drove my daughter past the little duplex that my husband and I lived in when we got married, and I don't know how we ever managed in that little space. We had less stuff, probably.
Oh
But we
my
had
God,
three
so much
dogs.
less.
We had three dogs, though. And
That's amazing.
I know. Actually, I think we had four for a little while because we were fostering in this little two-bedroom duplex. So
The
tiny.
things, I mean, we lived in tiny places. I just stabbed myself twice. Ouch. They don't tell you that quilting is a dangerous hobby, but
No.
no, but
I remember moving too, and I remember thinking my husband was going to kill me because I had like 6 boxes full of like quilting fabric
eh,
and thinking
oh,
that that was just way too much. And it took a
too
like a
much.
whole section of like an area of the garage. And I was like, I'm going to be in trouble. He's going to think this is too much. And
Well,
well, now I've got about 400, 300 square feet full of stuff.
you know how many times I had to move this fabric? Like,
Oh my gosh.
oh man, I did not have it all on comic book boards either the last time around.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, I was definitely testing the strength of that marriage.
It took, I had all the quilts folded like this when we moved the last time. And we were piling them like in the front seat of my dad's truck, the back seat of my dad's truck, in the van. And it still took several loads to get them all over. It was a lot.
When I moved from the last house, I had a carload of just sewing machines. It seemed like it's sewing machines and TVs.
I get it. And you don't want to trust that to the movers.
No, sewing machines and TVs.
Let's see. Hubby's
A
decorating
tetanus shot.
cabinet takes up more space than the quilting studio stuff, but it's a close race. What does he decorate? That would be interesting. AB got a tetanus shot. Yeah, that makes sense. I probably
Oh,
should get. It's been a while since I've had one.
tetanus shots are. Well, I had one not terribly long ago because I have a 3-year-old, so they make you get one when you are pregnant.
I can tell you when my husband last had his. It was
1989.
it was when he shot himself in the hand with a
I forgot about that.
staple gun.
He's really handy.
He is so handy. Oh,
He
oh my
really
goodness.
should not pick
He should not
something like
be
that.
have anything to do with my car. Like he should never
Not at
touch my
all.
car to do any maintenance. Like this is the man. Like I will get in his car and like every single tire low light is on that can be on. And I'm just like, and I'll like go. That's happened when I was coming to your house one time. It delayed me by like
Like,
20 minutes
sweetheart.
because it was not just a little low. It
Oh,
was like
yeah, that's
15
right.
pounds low in the tire pressure. I'm like, oh my God.
Like, you
And it's
can't do that.
like you're gonna blow these tires. And I told him that I remember telling him that too. I was like, hey, how about we just start by keeping your tires inflated to the
Step
proper
one of being
the
handy.
proper poundage. Let's start with that. Oh goodness.
Step one of being handy, you're right there.
But no, we had it was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. We were our neighbor has poison ivy, and our neighbor really doesn't do anything with their lawn. And so the poison ivy grows up our 6 foot fence. It is taller than the 6 foot fence. And every once in a while it'll sneak underneath. So we were doing the big clean out and he got into the poison ivy and he had it everywhere. He ended up needing a steroid. And then our piano bench, the bottom of it falls out all the time. And so every once in a while we gotta go and staple got it back in place. And so I'd ask him to go get it from the garage. And all of a sudden I hear him scream an expletive from the garage. And I
You knew
know
exactly what
exactly what he's
happened.
done. I knew
Yeah.
exactly what he had done. He wanted to see how far the staple would fly, except he had the staple backwards and staple gunned it right into the meat of his palm. right here. And he's lucky he didn't get it like in an eye or something. Like it could have been so much worse. So we're in the bathroom, our tiny little
Oh my
bathroom,
God.
just dying laughing. Like you need to go to urgent care because of course it's a weekend. It's not like you can get in a
It
regular
never
doctor.
happens on a weekday,
I know. And
between 9 and 5.
I'm like you have to go to urgent care and you need to tell them that you're just not having a very good day.
You have poison
And you
ivy
need a
everywhere and you stapled
yep,
yourself
you
and
need a steroid and you
they're
need
gonna be like,
a
"Do you have a will
tetanus
to
shot.
live? Are you feeling unsafe in your environment?"
It was so bad. Oh goodness. But Siberian Wind says he does all the decorating. So Christmas, Halloween, Easter, Valentine's, St.
Oh, that's
Patty's
fun.
Day, decorates the entire two-bedroom apartment. So how much does the decorations take up
To be
of the
fair,
two-bedroom apartment?
I will not judge you harshly on this at all, as I have a
Chantel
storage unit.
for her Christmas stuff.
I still have a tree up. It's a
I have
tiny
my
tree.
tree up too.
But
I've
that's
not
because
taken
John
down
won't bring me
anything.
the bin. I think he's doing the thing he did the one year where he's like, somebody wanted to keep the Christmas tree up until April. And then he hid the box so I couldn't get it.
Oh goodness.
And then he just kept saying that over and over again for
I need
months.
I really need mine down. It like at some point gets to a point where it bothers me to have all the extra clutter.
I mean, I have the big ones down, but I have
You have a lot of
it's
trees.
it's a lot. The problem
My
is
tree is
John's
still
been
up.
on call a lot, so it's been quite the adventure. And the toddler. Toddlers
I'm
are their
sure.
own adventure.
That is that you can say that again.
Hmm.
It's got five or
Okay.
six huge wheel totes for Christmas. That I feel like is totally acceptable.
That is completely acceptable. I
I
have
think
so
that's a
much worse.
totally
I think she
normal
says, I think
amount.
we have 20 totes. Yeah. I
That's a fair amount. One or two for each other season. I have like two for fall and maybe one for Easter, and I think that is it. I'm not into the seasonal decorating so much.
it's just Christmas for me.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Thanksgiving and a little bit of Easter and a little bit of Halloween. Those ones get a little something something.
I think my kids would love it if we got those big blow up things for the yard.
Oh my gosh. But
I
then
think
they
they're
like unblow
I
up
think they're
and they look
tacky.
terrible.
Yeah, but you
I we
know,
have them. I'm not gonna for Halloween we have them, but like they're not they're not my favorite thing.
we don't have power in the front of the house, so it would just be such a hassle
Oh, I
to
haven't
deal with.
marked this one yet. Oh, I'm so emotionally over this right now. I'm so close though.
You are very close. How
So
much do you have
close.
left? You had like what, three
Like
seams?
3 or 4 seams. And then trimming, but that's okay.
The Jones said she lived in Haiti for 3.5 years. She gave away most of her fabric before she went, but saved 6 totes of fabric and a sewing machine so that she was happy to see when she got home. That would be good. Did you still like the fabric when you got home? That would be the main thing. Or
Ooh,
did your
I mean,
taste
like,
change?
I wouldn't be sad to see most of my fabric again.
Donna says, if you guys still have any Christmas trees up, then I'll never call myself a procrastinator again. I have not taken down a single Christmas decoration yet. Not one. Oh,
We are
I'm bad.
decorating that thing with cherubs and calling it Valentine's Day.
No, it needs to come down. I tried
Yeah.
to get my husband to take it down with me last
Maybe
weekend, but
that
then
can be
I
his midlife crisis. Taking down your holiday decorations.
so he thinks it's like the freak ability, and I think it's just being a woman. Um, we have a tradition of getting each other ornaments every year, and that the person is into, and a lot of them come in like their special boxes. And
Hmm.
I am able to remember which ornament goes in which box. And I'm the only one that's able to remember what ornament goes in which box. So I have to be involved in the tree taking down process,
I see that. Yeah.
or it will be disaster. So
You are pivotal and
I am. Unfortunately, I had
necessary.
to be involved in that one.
Oh, we did not have a choice about the fabric.
Oh.
I get it.
Yes, we've all been there. Have
How are you going on
all
that?
been
How
there.
many of those have you gotten done?
What, me?
Yeah,
I have gotten one, two, three. I'm on my fourth.
that's not bad.
Plus, I had to get one of these guys on while
I
we were
saw that.
chatting.
I saw that. I noticed that while you were working. I was
Yes.
like, are you? I didn't want to say anything, but I was a little worried that you were sewing the wrong piece, the wrong thing. But then I was like, I don't want to come off that nosy
No, I
because I saw
had,
you sewing purple to purple, and I'm like, she's making a box now.
that was not what I was doing.
Okay,
I was
good.
following exactly what Tula did in her original.
No, it looked like you were, sewing the triangles together on
Yes,
accident without like sewing an X. Yeah,
I get it.
like
It's all
yeah.
good.
But it was like I can't. It couldn't be. That would be.
This is what Chantel and I were working on our sea days on the cruise. We were just sitting watching
Oh, the
vast
ocean go by.
nothingness. There's
Oh, it was
just
so
nothing. You could
wonderful.
see just water everywhere. And we were just enjoying
Oh my gosh. I don't think I ever
sitting
want to
there.
forget those days because those were just the best. They really were.
I definitely don't think I'm going to have a relaxing day like that on the next one. As even if I have like a relaxing morning with the kids, it's not going to be like
Well, and a relaxing, I mean, and teaching and everything can be quite enjoyable, really,
it can
especially
be.
when the
It absolutely
subject
is.
is like this. But that doesn't mean it's going to be relaxing.
Well, but like when I even have my downtime with the kids, like I have to make sure nobody drowns in the pool. Like this is very important.
There is no relaxing with children, I guess, is
No,
what I do understand. It
definitely
just
not.
doesn't, that those things are not like compatible, especially when they're swimming.
I
God,
know.
I have the worst swim stress when it comes to
Same.
my kids being like in a pool. I'm like, stop doing that. Ah, what are you doing? We don't do this. We don't do that. They're like, Mom, you make this not fun. I'm like, you make this not fun.
Well, I'm making you alive, so there's that.
I'm like, you make this not fun for me. I was like, you need to relax. It was like, that really helped. When you told me to relax, I felt very relaxed for that one moment. Absolutely.
Is it bad that you really want to make a chocolate sundae? I would say
No,
no.
absolutely not. We can help you do these things that you want to do. It is never bad. I had a chocolate sundae the other day. Like John will buy ice cream for the kids and he'll come home with like things like, I got Dairy Queen. I'll be like, where's mine?
I
Yeah, crickets, literal crickets. There is none
think
for me.
I would have such an easier time losing weight if I did not have children in the house.
Oh,
Because
you
like
know how many
today,
times a day I think this would be a lot easier if these kids weren't right here. And then I'm like, but I couldn't handle it without the kids here. Let's be honest. But I get a lot more done.
yes. Like today I was like being really good and I was very proud of myself for actually like going to the gym and doing a thing and then I ate a bunch of the kids' Doritos, which I don't even like Doritos.
I don't even like
And
Doritos either, and I would totally do the same thing.
but I was just like sitting there and it was salty and that's kind of what I wanted. And we didn't have, what else we needed that would have been. It's Friday before you go grocery shopping that the snack options were limited. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm like, I would never have even bought that had I not had a child in the house that wanted to eat a Dorito.
Oh man.
And they weren't even the
Yeah.
real Doritos. They were the Aldi
They're
Clancy
like
Doritos.
Choritos.
Yeah. So it's not even like I really got like
It's like a
what I
crunchy
wanted out
corn
of that.
chip flavor thing. Yeah, right. Oh man. I'm so close and I'm so tired.
Well, we could call it.
We really could. We did make it to 11:30, which is
We did. That's
always our
usually our
goal.
goal. Yes.
There have been nights that we've made it till 12:30 before. Although I think we're coming up soon on having a live where we have probably like a half hour or so of banter, and then we'll have everybody come on.
We
We
do need
were
to do
talking
that.
about doing that every once in a while.
Maybe after QuiltCon,
I think so. Yeah.
because we need to hear all about QuiltCon next.
Yeah, that's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited. If I can get there, in without getting sick. I had strep last week again for
You
the
should
third time.
probably talk to an ENT.
Well, I didn't ask for that one in the whole list of, things I needed to do.
I know, right?
Oh, you're completely right, though. I don't want to get my tonsils taken out, though.
It's not a pleasant thing, but I've never had strep. I had strep, that's not a lie. I had it one time since I had my tonsils out when I turned 20.
I mean, that's just
And
college grossness at that point when you're talking about having strep. It's like college is a cesspool of
I
disgusting
think
people.
I mostly drank too much and the antibiotic didn't work. I think what it was, because it was during pledging that this was happening.
That's fair. I think you're
I
probably
I very much this is so the sorority Chantel and I were in, some of you probably heard this before. We were not like
good girl.
we were not the Elwood sorority. That was
No.
not us. We were not Legally Blonde sorority. We would regularly beat the fraternities and keg races and wore camel pants. We were that kind of sorority.
Yeah.
And I remember
Red
during
bandanas and camo pants. Like
during
that.
my third round of strep, um, I decided I was like, okay, I'm not going to drink for this next 10 days because I think that might actually help the antibiotic work and do what it's supposed to do. These are the decisions that you make when you're 20 that when you're like truly an adult, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that like I thought this was
Yeah.
okay. But I remember being like, everyone looking at me and being like, come on, we're doing a keg race. You got to help out. And I'm like, I really can't. I'm sorry. You're on your own.
You're on your own and you're like, oh man.
There are 40 other girls in this thing, or was it 80 or something? And it was
Yeah,
like, I'm not going
there
to
were
be
a
the
lot of
difference
us.
maker in this. It can do it without me. It's okay.
He's like, I know you guys. You can do it.
Yes, they can. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I got my tonsils out that summer and only one other time.
To be
And I didn't
fair,
even
you and I
have,
must have been like the top of that. I mean, I was the top sorority like GPA my senior year.
I don't know. So
But
I
you had to be
was
like up there as, I mean, we were considered rare.
maybe my GPA, I mean, I had a good GPA, but I was way more focused on the student newspaper than my grades. Like I eventually learned that I should never take a class that starts at 8:30 on a Wednesday because I would be up
Oh,
um
because of the deadline.
too late doing the newspaper deadline on Tuesday. But Sarah says she
But
visualizes bad moms. Well, I mean, we're better now,
yeah.
but
But
we
then
don't
we
get
would have
into
been
that kind of
terrible.
shenanigans that now. But
No, nothing too fun for us now.
no.
This is as fun as we get to be
That
really
I
all
mean,
week.
we sew on a Friday night with all of you live on the interwebs in our
And
pajamas.
sometimes we have a few drinks.
So and sometimes it's just spindrift like mine today. So obviously we melt it out
A little bit.
a little bit.
All right. This guy's coming together.
Yay, it looks so good. So is it on
Whew.
point then?
Yeah,
So you're cutting off
I'm
stuff.
cutting off. Yeah.
That's a lot to
Which
cut off.
actually, because of the way the blocks are, it it works out. I had questions at first and it was like, no, it really does work out better to like trim it.
Leave it that way.
Hmm. Yeah.
I have a couple patterns like that. I always feel bad though.
Oh
Because I
yeah. No,
know
there's
there's
definitely like trim
people,
guilt.
yeah, who are like, oh my gosh, I can't manage
Then
and all
don't
that
make one on
extra
point.
fabric.
Yeah. Like, because it definitely has some trim guilt.
Oh, we're the highlight of AB's day.
Yay!
That makes me feel good when I was like dragging myself out of bed at 9:15.
She really was like in the
I
middle. Yeah,
literally
like
was.
not that long ago. I
This is
mean,
how tired I was. I'm at a really good part. I finally broke down and added Fourth Wing to my Audible playlist.
mhm.
And I didn't want to read it because sometimes when something is super popular, I'm like,
It's so
come on,
disappointing.
it's gotta be like overhyped. And I was under the
Absolutely.
impression that it was like straight up smut the whole time. But that's not
We're
been the
hours into it
experience
and
so
there's no
far.
smut yet.
I'm very far into it, and there's just been like a little bit of, well, maybe this will be the love interest, or maybe this will be the love interest. But there's been like n nothing besides something that could totally be like PG-13. Like it's nothing untoward so far. Um,
Nothing uncouth.
yes. So it's totally been fine, but it's at a really good part, and I didn't even want to like listen to that and lay down. I
That's
really
when
just
you
wanted
know.
to like clear my brain. And then of course, so my dog is like my shadow, and I laid down for like 45 minutes, and I think he licked his feet for 35 of those minutes. Yeah, I don't know why dogs do this. You're like finally ready to go to bed, and that's just like for forever. And it's like, please stop.
Like, yeah, can you not like right now is not a great time for the licking, buddy.
And he has to like have physical contact with me. It's not enough to be like in the same room
So
or
you're getting the motion.
yeah, I'm getting the motion too. I was laying on my stomach and he was between my ankles licking his feet for like 35 minutes at least.
I when I went out to go blow my nose, Cubby's not there. I'm
Oh
really
no,
sad. I don't know. I don't
he
know where he is.
abandoned you.
No, I don't think he did. I think Dad accidentally locked him upstairs. So I gotta go
Oh,
figure
that
this
could be.
out because he would
If
he would
Remy
be
did
there.
that, he would have peed on something.
Well, see,
He would have been
I'm not
separated from
worried
me.
about the peeing on something, but Cubby's not happy right now. I know
Letitia
it.
wants to know about your French horn.
Oh yeah, that back there, it's actually like a music player. Where is my phone? So like I'm a French horn player, but you take your phone and he like the guy who did this redid it so that you stick your phone like with the speaker or whatever into it and it amplifies the sound. So it's like a speaker essentially, but it works really well and it's really cool and it gives us this really cool old-timey sound. And I use it in the middle of the night when I'm cutting pieces and not sleeping like I probably should be sleeping. But I don't want to like amplify the sound so much. Like I have a system in here because this used to be a theater room. And so I have a really, I mean, I have like full DJ system like going on in here with surround sound. It's fantastic. But in the middle of the night, when you have three kids and four dogs, well, three dogs now, that you don't want to wake up and have them be like, "Arr, arr, 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 somebody's breaking into the house." Um, this is the way to do it.
That
And
works.
it's really cool. I love it.
I use my
I love my
headphones
weird things.
and
You're like, I use my headphones. I'm like,
no,
I
I
have
have a
this
funny
French horn
story.
contraption.
So the night before we went on our cruise, Chantal and I were joking that we maybe were gonna end up staying up all night. But I did end up staying up all night. I did not sleep until we made it to Florida that night. I was so tired. But because I was doing like my project, I was putting the finishing touches on it. And I'm up at like 3 in the morning working on this. And I have these
Here's her
headphones
headphones on.
on and I'm listening to a book. So I hear nothing. And
She's
all of a
into the book.
sudden, I turn around and my mom is just standing there. And like I didn't hear her come down the stairs. I about peed my pants. I was so scared. It's like you think you're in the basement by yourself, and it's done up
That's
enough
why I
to
don't
where
listen to headphones
yeah,
when it's the middle of the night, man. You want to know if, the creepy crawlies are like behind you. Like that is critical information at that point.
I feel like it. Although the creepy
Hmm.
crawlies in my basement are likely scurrying on the floor. little
Fair, but
little buggies.
occasionally they're your parents or your in-laws that are bustling about, children, dogs.
I'm
Hubby
almost
came
done.
up to me the other day. Oh, that looks so
It's
good.
so fun. It's very fun.
Hubby came up to me the other day and I had my headphones on and I was just trying to take like a meditation moment. So I'm being really calm and still on the sofa. And I have my headphones in, and so I'm not hearing everything. I'm just listening to music. And he sticks his big poodle wet nose on my face, and I lost it. Like, and he's like, "Oh my God, Mom, I'm so sorry." And the little dog, the dog is just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I I offend you." And you're like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, dog. I
It's
did
so
not mean to
funny.
like it." Yeah. I was trying to have my Zen moment and go figure a wet dog nose would find me in that moment.
Yeah, it does never work out very well.
Mm-mm. Never does.
My worst is when like you bend over and their nose is like at the worst inopportune spot and you're like, I'm not a dog. You're not allowed to put it there.
Like you
Sorry.
are not allowed to lift up my hinds
Yes.
to figure out who I am. You know damn well who I am. Stand by feet by the headphones. Yeah, that's a good point.
Suzanne says her hubby knows to stamp her feet if she's got headphones on.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is I don't know, some of these these AirPods are so good at dissolving background sound that yeah, I didn't even notice that the dog was like on top of me there.
I my daughter's really been enjoying swimming, and so I swam competitively for 10 years. And so she wants to give summer swim team a try, which is like the perfect time to do it because the dance stuff isn't really that
And
big of a
it's not
deal in the
very
summer.
serious during
No, not at
summer.
all.
Like,
Like they understand you're going to be leaving for a week here or there. And so I was like looking into it. I was trying to figure out what there was around us. And immediately I start getting all the ads for all the swim things, like all of it. And now I would have loved this when I was like young, but the technology wasn't there. They have um their headphones, they don't go in your ear, they come right next to your ear, but they can fit either over your cap or under it. And
what?
yeah, and then you can listen to your music. And they have ones where like your coach can like be in your ear and like yell at you while
You're like,
you're
we
in the
don't want
water.
those ones.
I know, right? Ah, I remember you like turn your head and you get like bits of it. Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not listening. Opportune moment.
But so she's pretty
All right.
excited about that.
I'm down to like two scenes here.
I told her she can swim in your deep end this year.
Woohoo!
So
Yay.
she's gotten pretty decent.
We're gonna have to charge people to come swim in this pool. That darn fence costs so damn much.
I bet it
Like,
did.
everybody, hey, you're gonna have to bring us part of your cow.
I can bring you part of the cow. We can do that.
I mean, you end up getting really well-made meat, so
This is true.
John knows what
I
he's
sh
doing at this
I
point.
should I should bring the side dishes is what I should bring.
Oh my gosh. So that was like his was like, do you have a resolution? He's like, I'm gonna figure out the sides thing because we never have sides. It was like he we'll have a whole meal of just meat. You would think you were a glorified caveman.
We've been doing, and it's been really good. You get a chuck roast bone in, and it's so easy. You'll get a bag of baby potatoes at Aldi and a bag, like they'll
I
have
love
two
how you
to a
say
kind.
bag. You said
Bag. I'm so
bag.
Midwestern.
I
But
know.
they have like the little golden potatoes and then they're like the little red potatoes and there's all in one bag and it's little. You just pop them in. It's like a 2 pound bag. And then you put a
Bag.
bag of
Bag.
baby carrots in with it. And you take your chuck roast and you season it and then you sear it in a pan. This takes 5 minutes and then you pop it on top of the potatoes and the baby carrots put in a beef bouillon cube and just like a cup of water and just let it chill out for like 5 hours. And then when you're done, that meat is so tender, like the bone comes straight out of it, and it's so good. And you have a pot roast, but you've like literally done nothing. You haven't had to pre-cut any meat. You haven't, it's so much easier. I love it. We've been doing that a lot. But then our
That
cow didn't come with any chuck roast, so I'm gonna have to go get some chuck roast.
wait for reals?
Yeah, like
How
for
did your
reals.
cow
There's
not
not a
come with a
single chuck
how did
roast.
he
I don't know. Maybe my in-laws like got
they
a
took the chuck roast?
I think they got a half cow and then they brought us a quarter of it. So maybe they took some of those.
Oh, that's fair.
Also,
I
my
mean,
father-in-law doesn't like the that cut, so maybe he requested not to get it.
oh well, that's also
That could be too.
I'm not picky because I am the eater and not the maker. Oh my gosh, I'm literally sewing in like dog hair here as I I have this
I
laid out on the floor of
That's
the basement and I
so
swept the
my
basement,
life.
but occasionally I come across and like, is that a thread or is that a dog hair? And it's like, oh no, it's too thin to be a thread. It's a dog hair.
We have people coming over next weekend
That
for a
sounds
play date.
fancy.
Not really. It's like my neighbor and her kid.
So,
And I'm fixing a blanket while our kids play with each other because my youngest keeps receipts about how many play dates she has versus her older sister.
oh Lord.
And but the children have to clean their play area first. So this is really what it is all about, is we invite people so that they're forced to clean up their crap.
I sent you a thing about that this
You
week.
did. This is an ADHD thing too. That I've seen many things where you're like, just call your ADHD friend and say you'll be there in about 45 minutes. And in an hour, they'll
They
call
will
you and
all
be
of a sudden,
like,
yeah,
where are you? And like, I'm not really coming, but are you enjoying your clean house? And they're like, yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
I am.
dang it. I totally put my dishes away for that. Now I know. So be like, are you on the way? And be like, I put an Apple tracker in your car.
Donna says she got Therabody smart goggles for Christmas. And
What
massage,
are
compress, and
those?
vibrate and apply heat to your eyes at the same time. They're helping her wind down to go to sleep. That sounds lovely.
It does sound lovely.
I enjoy a nice cool compress on my eyes.
I just like I have a face mask that I like no light mask. Did I have a mask when I probably had a mask while we were on our trip? But half the time I fall asleep with my arm like this, and then it ends up
She
like
just sleeps like
this.
this.
So I cover my own eyes
In
when I'm
her
sleeping.
phone full in her outfit from the day.
Yeah, I'll put on jammies when I have intentions of falling asleep, but I never have intentions of going to sleep when I'm going to sleep.
I am in love with my moo I'm just gonna say.
You're what? Your
In love with my
moo-moos?
moo yes.
Oh,
If I can spend a day in a moo like that's a good day.
you've done well. Yeah.
I know.
All right. I have one more seam after this, so
I
it's a huge
technically
one though. It's the
only
big cross the quilt one.
have one more little section here.
I
So
think
maybe we'll both actually finish. We'll feel so accomplished.
I don't want to finish. I want to go to bed. I want to find my
I,
dog. Why isn't my
I,
dog here?
we can do that too.
We can do that too.
I'm
Okay. A lot of
You
quilt.
never even heard of it massages your eyes inside your head. I bet that feels lovely.
Oh, I bet
I
that
get
does feel
monthly
nice.
massages, but my back is so screwy with the scoliosis that we never get beyond it
No.
to do anything else in my body in the hour. And I would be nice to splurge for like the 90, but
Ooh,
that's
occasionally,
not that's not always in the cards. It's very rarely in the cards, to be honest, but
yeah. I, I miss massages.
I know. They're so lovely. I like to
Oh
get beaten
well,
up.
she does. She wants it to hurt so good.
Somebody needs to beat up my rear end right now so that it will stop hurting.
That sounds like a husband issue, all right? Like,
No, that comes with
no.
expectations. I need a professional who knows what they're doing and why my muscles hurt because it probably isn't that. It's probably my
Ah,
back. It's probably my low back on the other side that is the problem because of the way things
right. It's
connect.
always yeah.
And that's probably what the problem is I probably did something weird to the low back on the opposite side. And
That's
yes, no,
funny.
this is not
Yes,
something
no.
I want or need my husband's help with, except to complain to about it.
I just want to complain and be heard about the fact that my butt hurts.
Yes. It actually feels fine now that I'm not moving, but I bet you the second I get up, I'm gonna feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. All right, did I already mark this one?
I
Okay.
knew I had worked myself good though, because I had to walk upstairs to get to the indoor track.
Hmm.
And I was like immediately feeling it, like when you have shaky legs after leg day, which I have not felt in a,
A
a
long
decade
time.
and a half, a long time. And then I normally do like 2.5 miles, pretty easy. Like I could do more, but I don't have time to do more. And I was like barely making it to one today. And I was like, okay, I did a thing. I worked
I
out.
got somewhere.
I definitely did something. I think we're gonna be okay.
Ah, my nose is running again. God.
I know, mine is really stuffy.
All right. How about we?
Everything is so frozen. I don't know why we're stuffy.
Yeah, I know, right? Mine's just dust from my house. I know that. That and
That could be.
the fact that I'm bending over, it just my nose wants to run. Okay. All right, we got
Is it
this
all
half done.
together?
No, this is
S-
one
So
a
you split your
half.
two. Well, that's something. You have
Yeah.
two halves though now, right?
Yes.
So in theory, you could finish it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would definitely do the scant quarter inch seam around the edges of that one once you get it trimmed
Oh yeah, we're doing a victory lap on this guy because he's
with all those bias edges. That
yeah,
could stretch out big time.
let's go be fun.
Well, I'm proud of you. You got a lot done today.
I did get a lot done today. Look at how many black threads are on my thing behind me. Oh my gosh.
You practically sewed together an entire quilt, and I am still hand sewing one block together.
Hey, that is my specialty. All right.
Uh, so now I have
No
nothing
wonder
to
I feel like I
do
never get
tomorrow
anywhere.
when I run around with the children. I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do.
I like how you're all cuddled in a quilt that doesn't have binding.
It has binding.
But
It's just the
does it
same color.
have binding? Is it
I
sewn
mean,
on?
no, of course not.
Of course
You
not.
know me. I didn't
It's
sew that
just
down.
glued on.
It's
There you
glued
go.
down.
Now you have something to do tomorrow.
I am not hauling an entire quilt with me to swim lessons and coding. That's a bad chance.
You could do a whole year of these lives trying to sew on binding and still
Probably
have
it still will
things
not
to
be
do.
done.
Hmm.
I can do about 5 feet an hour and maybe
That's
more.
it.
Maybe I can do more.
You've been hand sewing a lot more. I bet you can go a lot faster now.
I haven't timed myself in a very long time, so I don't know.
You could definitely do that.
I have one
Not
that
that
I
much
need to
more, but
do so I can wash it. This is basically the criteria. Does quilt need to be washed or not?
it's true though. I understand.
Alrighty.
All right,
Well,
let's
we
say
can
goodnight,
call it.
everyone.
Good night. Thank you for joining us. Is it next week, QuiltCon, or the week after? I feel like I asked this
Week
question already.
after. So
Week after.
this next week, I will definitely be doing some prep for things that I'm going to be trading at QuiltCon, and then the next week I will be live at in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So my time will be different.
Send John to the bar or
Send me
have
to
him
the
join
bar.
us. Or that. That could work too.
Whatever. It's
Whatever
all good.
works. You might get
So,
recognized. That would be cool.
yeah, that would be kind of fun.
If you see Chantel, say hi.
Please do. I would be very, very kind of excited. I
That
would
would
be
be very
like
cool.
wigged out about the fact that somebody figured out who I was.
That would be really
So
cool.
cheesy. All right. Good
Alrighty.
night,
Have a good
guys.
night, everybody.
Bye
Bye.
bye.